and formed a partnership that took the internet by storm. They continue that fight today against the masses and elites that brainwash us every day by not taking any of it seriously.
He's lisping! He's Pakistani!
You're right, her husband wasn't fucking her because he was on some chatterbait site with fucking balloon tits. Yep. So she took it out on fucking Rover.
And what happened was she saw him online one day chatting with somebody doing puppy play. Oh, she's like, that's it.
No, you're right.
These dogs are going to pay.
So that's why she wants to criminalize all furry cons, which is the only thing I agree with.
And I'm sorry, you're asking for privacy. I'm the one who went to bed, woke up today, and you and your husband, Ball Gag McGee's fucking pictures are all over splattered in front of my timeline.
And some Mexican women hit the wall when a coyote shoves them into one.
Is it because they drew a tunnel? Oh, a different type of coyote. Sorry. I was thinking of the Looney Tunes.
What do you think that coyote was trying to do to that sexy roadrunner?
Oh, God, it makes sense.
Trying to sell his body.
Sexy roadrunner.
Yes. They don't roadrunners. There's not much meat on the bones.
Stupid sexy roadrunner. There's some asshole in CNN in the back goes, you know, I have an idea. Joe Rogan is kicking our ass. Theo Von's destroying us. All these podcasters are fucking killing us.
You know what I figured out? Everyone loves Joe Rogan. You know why?
Why is that?
Because he does his show from his office. What?
Mersh.
And I still mean this to this day. I want to be able to get GHB. It was a wonder drug. And then a couple of fucking gay people had to rape people, and then all of a sudden, whoa, we can't have that at GNC anymore.
Royce.
I was a bully in high school, so this job was really easy for me to transition into. Just because Iranian women can't have OnlyFans doesn't mean that I want to pay for interceptor missiles. Like, you know, those things should never be connected.
Saving civilization one dick joke and Simpsons reference at a time. Here they are, Mersh and Royce.
Whoa, hey, is that my cue? Is that my cue? Am I on?
You're on.
Sorry, I'm not ready.
Hold on.
I'm not used
5,
to this.
4.
Wait, no, it's too late for that. We can't do that.
Go. Thank you, Hammy, for the new intro.
I'm panicking.
No, it's fine.
No, hi, everybody.
We have done like 1,800 of these.
Welcome to the Revenge of the Sis, guys. It's a big day today.
It is.
It's the biggest day of the year.
Yeah. The big goat lion's going to be on. Very excited. Mark Harley's going to be on second hour. So we're really looking forward to that. Hi, everybody.
I'm psyched. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the program.
Yes, thank you, Hammy, for the new intro. That was great.
It is very good.
Really appreciate it. We have a whole bunch of other new stuff coming for everybody, but that's just one of them. Huh?
Mm-hmm.
Huh?
Also, this is a pro-Israel show now.
Yes. We forgot to tell them.
Cleared.
Yeah.
We're now 100% behind our boys in blue and white.
Yeah. In Israel. Whatever. In Israel. Behind our boys in Israel.
Thank you for your service.
We really appreciate it. Thank you guys because, the president had a speech yesterday, okay? And everything's fine. Everything's just...
Everyone agreed. This speech had nothing.
I've made clear from the beginning of Operation Epic Fury that we will continue until our objectives are
fully
fully
Mr.
achieved.
President, you mispronounced Epstein's Fury.
Yeah.
Of Operation Epic Fury that we will continue until our objectives are fully achieved.
Can you please, for the love of God, tell me what the objectives are? Because you keep saying objectives, but I don't know what they are.
Nobody wants this.
So let me, too long didn't read because there's a lot. So here's basically what he said. There's not going to be a regime change in Iran. So I guess that's just going to be some new fucking guys are going to take over. He said that the war will be, he thinks it'd be wrapped up by the end of April. Mm-hmm. He said that Iran had really close to having a nuke that was going to fire at the U.S.
And then what is this now? We're apparently going to just drop some guys in and we're going to steal the uranium?
Well, no, look, listen.
And then we're just going to leave and they're just going to let us.
They're referring to it, and I'm not kidding you, nuclear dust. So we have to make sure that we collect the nuclear dust.
Can I ask you something?
Yeah.
Because they said we're not going to have boots on the ground.
Right.
But if you're going to go steal stuff, wouldn't that require boots on the ground?
Have you seen National Treasure?
His boots were on the ground.
Yeah, but it was just a couple people. It wasn't the fucking whole army. It was Nicolas Cage and his friends.
But it required your feet to be on the ground?
Yes.
Yeah, that's boots on the ground.
Okay.
Oh.
And also, in the National Treasure movie, if I remember correctly, the president was helpful in it.
Yes. He was
At the end, he was like, hey, let me show you the little underground tunnel. But we don't live in a world where Nicolas Cage is stealing the Declaration of Independence. Nope. We live in a world where the street removes, we don't know what we're going to do with it. And Trump also was talking about, like, we got plenty of fucking oil here. We don't, there's an international oil market. That's not how it works. Now, listen, if you want to fucking say that we're going to have our own fucking oil prices, then fine, then we have to fucking start drilling here. But also we got to get real friendly with South American countries. And you can't Venezuela every one of them.
No.
Okay? So, like.
That's what you think.
No, that's what Jews think.
Man, you think Maduro's probably like, damn, bro, we must be some weak-ass bitches.
Yeah.
I'm going to go down in history as the only guy this ever worked with.
Mm-hmm. Virgie, we have any Maduros back there? I'm fucking starving. Little fried bananas.
Best I can do is a Hugo Chavez Jr. Remember when we thought Hugo Chavez was like the worst thing ever? And then we got Maduro and we're like, oh.
Can we just, you were like, oh, can we go back to that guy?
I remember the UN used to be so lit when you had Hugo Chavez and Ahmadinejad from Iran. Remember those two? Man,
yeah.
Those two with the, like, you'd be like, oh, okay, UN's getting together today. Boring. What time is Ahmadinejad on? Okay, he's on at 1, and then Hugo Chavez is on at 3. Okay, the afternoon's going to be great.
Guys, hurry up. Gaddafi's coming on. Let's go.
Bro, just be a bunch of boring nerds sitting there going like, well, we got to secure enough grain to feed the Africans.
Fucking nerds.
Yeah. And then you'd have Ahmadinejad and Chavez go up and be like, the U.S. is the great Satan, and we're going to fucking burn that place to the ground. We're going to kill the president. And then it would just go back to, it's supposed to get extra cold this year in Iceland. Are we going to have enough for heating oil for them?
The progress we've made, I can say tonight that we are on track to complete all of America's military objectives shortly, very shortly.
Soon. Just down the pipeline.
We're going to
Just
hit
2
them.
more weeks to stop the spread of nuclear bombs.
Yeah, to stop the spread of cheap gas.
Mm-hmm.
Extremely
4/29.
Yeah.
For me today.
hard over the next 2 to 3 weeks. We're going to bring them back to the Stone Ages where they belong.
You're talking about a sovereign nation.
Can I?
Yeah.
So you have your mullahs and you have your guys at the top, your ayatollahs, your IGRC guys, right?
The mullahs and the papas.
But then aren't there like millions and millions of just like regular people?
Yeah, they go to
just
work every
living
day.
their lives.
Go to work every day.
Do we have to put them all in the Stone Age?
Yeah.
Do they all have to go to the Stone Age?
So like even the ones that I'm playing like, fucking playing Halo with, like they gotta die too? I feel weird. I feel like the guy that works as a tech guy in the city, it's not like his fault. So why does he gotta go live in a cave?
I feel like anytime you're making speeches about how you're going to knock people into the Stone Age where they belong, I feel like you're the bad guy.
Maybe even Queens of the Stone Age. They were gonna they're gonna
Josh
send him in
Hall.
there, right? So for the troops, like to help the troops.
I promised Queens of the Stone Age the best I could get was Caius. Unfortunately,
No, thank you.
we've got Caius.
No,
it's
thank
like
you.
It's Queens of the Stone
that's
Age at
fine.
home.
No, that's what that is.
In the meantime, discussions are ongoing.
I actually
Regime
saw
change
Caius live
was
one time. It was a pretty good show, actually.
Not our goal. We never said regime change, but regime change has occurred because of all of their original leaders.
No, regime change has occurred because you keep killing their leaders, so the
Yeah.
regime will then change.
Yeah.
Death. They're all dead. The new group is less radical and much more reasonable. Yet if during this period of time no deal is made, we have our eyes.
Didn't you hear that we were having supposedly these peace talks and they attacked the dude? Those are the peace talks. He was injured apparently, and he doesn't want to talk anymore.
They're much less radical. More moderate. They're not talking to us, but they are more moderate. What?
On key targets. If there is no deal, we are
Wait,
going
guitar?
to...
Wait, there is a country where it's a guitar but with piano keys on it.
And then like John
Where
Lennon's
is it?
gonna get obsessed with it. It's gonna be really
Oh, my
annoying.
God,
It's gonna
then
ruin entire
I want
Beatles
to go
album.
to the nation of guitar.
Yeah,
That sounds fun.
hit each and every one of their electric generating plants very hard and probably simultaneously.
Okay, but like that's a war crime, guys.
The nation
Guys.
of guitar and the electric drum kit. We are getting them all together. We're getting the band together again.
I could be Run from the Hills in Rock Band by myself on expert mode.
We have not hit their oil, even though that's the easiest target of all, because it would not give them even a small chance of survival or rebuilding.
Frankly, Tucker Carlson's retarded.
The problem is like also like he keeps saying he makes these threats, but then he doesn't do them. Like, first off, you just can't attack a desalination plant and like fucking their power grid and just completely starve out and like fucking
We will
kill.
bomb their hospitals, their schools, their grocery stores.
What? Come on, man. That's not what the good guys do. Hey, before we did this, was the straight open though?
It was wide open.
Okay.
It was bustling.
I remember filling up a couple months ago for like $2 and like what 70 cents, something crazy like that.
And now they're just charging like fucking tens of thousands for ships to pass, and everyone's just paying them.
Yeah, well, what
There's
option
a
do
bunch
you
of
have?
countries that are like, how much? Yeah, okay, fine, man. Here.
My presidency is winning, and now winning bigger than ever before. Before discussing this current situation, I also want to thank our troops for the masterful job they did in taking the country of Venezuela in a matter of minutes.
Damn, it's thunder out here right now.
Was that here?
That's here.
That hit was quick, lethal, violent, and respected by everyone.
Unreadable grindcore band name. Donated $50 says,
That's a very funny name.
the world is ending, boys. Have a few doll hairs.
Unreadable grindcore band name.
It's a great name. It's a
fucking
great name, yeah.
Everyone
It's
all
a
over the
banger.
world. After rebuilding our military during my first term, we have by far the strongest military anywhere in the world. And now we're working
And now we
along
are
with-
weakening that military
Bro,
and affecting our readiness.
hey, question. Before this war in Iran, do the people in the beautiful hotels in Dubai have to worry about rockets being fired at them?
Right.
Because that's what's happening now. That's not great.
in person, a horrible human being.
We have
however.
the strongest military we've ever had in history, and as we all know, the greatest thing to do is to get those people killed.
No, please don't.
It's too strong, frankly.
However, the father of the roadside.
Oh, also, we have not gotten any accurate numbers yet about actual casualties in the Middle East. Like that number just froze at 13.
Wow,
We
that's
just
it.
haven't gotten- yeah, man.
It stopped
And then
right
nobody
there.
ever died in Iran again.
Bomb.
You know who's alive though? The boys that did the flyby, Kid Rock's house.
And he lived.
You go to any base right now in the Middle East, and they're probably walking around with dead corpses of privates, like doing Weekend at Bernie shit with them. Nope, they're still alive, Mr. President.
They're great.
It's horrible what he did. Iran would have been perhaps in far better, stronger position. Had he lived, we would have had probably a different conversation tonight. But you know what? We'd still be winning and winning big.
You know what Iran should do right now? Just release the Epstein files. You'd be the good guys.
Do it.
And then, very importantly, I terminated Barack Hussein Obama's Iran nuclear deal.
Guys, this doesn't work
You
anymore.
have to say Hussein,
Nobody cares.
so we know how foreign
I
he
know.
is.
Barack Obama sucked, dude. I get it, dude. No one's defending him, but why?
But
are
he's
you...
gone.
Yeah, you're the one sucking now.
A disaster. Obama gave them $1.7 billion in cash. Green cash.
$1.7 billion in cash. How much have we spent on this war so far, and how much are we asking for?
We're asking for $200 billion.
I'll give him $1 billion.
This
Took
does
it out
feel
of-
like those you know, like when those when you have like the hackers, they hack your computer and then they lock it, and it's like a bank, and they're like, give us $1 million, and it's like you're a bank, so
Yeah.
you're like, they'll unlock the computers, man. Like
Just
we're,
give 'em the money.
We're literally losing $1 million an hour right now.
Yeah, you're
give
right.
them
Good
the
point, good
million.
point. That's why a lot of those usually work.
Yeah, because it's like, here, man, just don't do it again, please. Pretty
banks
please.
from Virginia, D.C., and Maryland, all the cash they had. He flew it by airplanes in an attempt to.
And Fergie, correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't he send like the Nevada National Guard or something like that? Something weird like that? Like he deployed the Nevada National Guard, I think.
buy their
over there.
respect and loyalty, but it didn't work. They laughed at our president and went on with their mission to have a nuclear bomb. His Iran deal would have led to a colossal arsenal of massive nuclear weapons for Iran, and they would have had them used.
Buddy. Barack Obama.
Hussein.
Barack Hussein Obama.
Thank you.
He's a Muslim Jew. No, he hasn't been president in 10 years. It's over, bud. Like, we're not, you don't have to be scared of him anymore.
And I was correct. According to the Nevada Current, Nevada National Guard deployed to support war on Iran. The Nevada is the latest state to send the National Guard Air Force to support the U.S. and Israeli war on Iran, according to the news. The 152nd Airlift Wing out of Reno, known as the High Rollers, is a lethal initiative team of combat-ready warfighters, according to its website. Cool.
Ago, and they would have used them. Would have been a different world. There would have been no.
The only reason the Atlanta airport's open is because Tyler Perry's giving fucking gift cards to Applebee's.
Middle East and no Israel.
No, but I'm glad this is going on. This is fun.
Right now, in my opinion, the opinion of a lot of great experts, had I not terminated.
Mark, by the way, great experts are like Mark Levin. Great experts like Mark Levin.
Did that terrible deal, and I was so honored to do it. I was
wartime correspondent Laura Loomer,
political operative.
I was so bad
Laura
right from
Loomer.
the beginning. Essentially, I did what no other president was willing to do. They made mistakes. And
Why do you think no other president was willing to do it? You fucking idiot.
because they were too scaredy cat, Virgie. Fucking, you salute the flag.
I am correcting
Let me ask
them.
you something, Mr. President. If your friends if your friends get into a war with Iran, what are you going to do it too? Huh? Will you jump off a bridge too?
Turns out, yes.
If your friends tell you to get into a war with Iran, you're going to listen to them?
Yep. Turns out, yes.
I cannot stress this enough. Fucking George W. Bush. Fucking George W. Bush. They came to George W. Bush and said, Iran is going to attack us, so we're going to strike them first. And you better be in on it because they're going to start striking your bases next. And George W. Bush looked at him and said, that sucks. Good luck with that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you know what happened? They didn't strike Iran, and Iran didn't strike our fucking bases.
Because they never were going to. Iran is not going to. It's not. Listen, this is they do this threat. They always do this because they just want the military-industrial complex has to fucking keep moving. They couldn't. They tried. They stole the. I still think they stole the fucking election from Trump. Once he won by overwhelming numbers, they realized we can't. We got to do something. This is a lot easier. This is the easiest way to do this. Again, man, they went from 4,000 ice agents in Minneapolis to 400. We're not doing the things that we said we're going to fucking do. And none of these fucking executive orders like the mail-in ballot thing and all that, the courts are going to rip that apart. This needs to be passed through Congress, but we can't because we're too busy fucking adjudicating a fucking war, and we can't even open the fucking country. Dude, the lowest fucking approval rating of any president in history.
Listen, Royce is just being a panic. And listen, all we got to do is sweep the midterms. Then we'll have enough power in Congress and the Senate. Then we could pass whatever we want.
How?
Red wave, baby.
How? What's the strategy to sweep the midterms?
Red wave.
You think all the mama bears are going to come together and?
Oh no, I was talking about the stock market. Red wave.
Oh.
Lots of red.
I mean, you know what happens though. You know, Mersh. This is the truth. You know what happens when the Dow goes under 50,000? Do you want to know what happens when the Dow goes under 50,000?
No.
This happens.
Kaylee, I just got off the phone with President Trump. We have a big scoop. Pam Bondi will soon leave her job as the Attorney General. She is going to get a different job within the administration. It doesn't sound like there is any bad blood between...
No, people get fired all the time and there's no bad blood.
It sounds like that's what happened. But in reality, Pam Bondi begged Trump not to fire her during dramatic White House showdown, Insider reveals. Attorney General Pam Bondi begged Donald Trump not to fire her in an explosive showdown at the White House. Trump fired Bondi on Thursday, the second cabinet casualty in less than a month, after a month of controversy, including the botch handling of the Epstein files. Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche will serve as the acting Attorney General until a permanent nominee is picked. Trump informed her of the decision shortly before the primetime Iran war address to the nation, a senior administration told Daily Mail. Bondi responded by pleading for the president to give her give her more time in the role, but Trump remained firm, and her time leading the agency was over. The Daily Mail can reveal she was unhappy and tried to change his mind. The reasoning, Trump's reasoning for the sudden dismissal comes in part because the president believes Bondi tipped off Eric Swalwell about the FBI's effort to release investigative documents related to his relationship with a Chinese spy. The FBI was preparing a cache of documents on Swalwell's relationship with Christina Fang. She's intervening in those matters. The White House wasn't pleased. She was intervening due to her personal friendship with Swalwell.
Oh. What happened, Bonnie? I thought you were going to drain the swamp.
Oh, who's going to replace her is going to be even worse, though. I hope it's another podcaster.
Theo Vaughn.
That'd be fine. That wouldn't bother me.
Well, welcome back. We are on day 4.
Okay, pick. Go. Right or left? I know.
You're joking.
No, I'm asking for real.
I mean left, but she's got to stop with
That's why I'm asking. I would agree.
With the work. The one on the right ain't bad.
They're both pretty, but the one on the left is like model pretty.
46 of the partial government shutdown, which has left, of course, thousands of people who work for the Department of Homeland Security
But you know what?
without a pay.
You know what? The one on the right, her husband should send the one on the left a thank you card, because working with her every day is probably making this one stay tight, stay at the gym, work out hard. She's got to try to keep up.
Can I, dude? Honestly, one on the right, one on the left can barely move her fucking face. She looks like a duck.
That's what Mercer's saying too. She's getting to that point where
she's got to stop.
You got to stop.
She's ugly. Honestly, the one on the left's kind of ugly. She looks like a fucking plastic duck. It's weird.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. Somebody doesn't like fucking the hot duck from Howard the Duck that are boobs in the bathtub with the boobs out. Come on.
No, you're right. I don't.
Grow up, Pessy. Grow up.
I did.
Yeah, people are fired up about
No,
this.
you didn't.
Which is why TMZ is giving people a way to call out lawmakers. Let's welcome in TMZ executive producer Harvey Levin. Harvey, thank you for being here this morning. You're certainly doing the Lord's work.
Yes, because when I think of the Lord's work, I think of Harvey Levin and TMZ. The Lord's work.
I don't know about the Lord. I don't know about the Lord's work, but just as Americans, we're kind of fed up. And we've been talking about this for months at TMZ, that there is a point to voting people in Congress, which is to run our government, and they are running our government into the ground by not doing anything, by not compromising, by not keeping the government open. And
why the fuck do you care? You're TMZ. The fuck do you care?
I tell you, this just all came spontaneously. Last week, we interviewed this TSA worker who is just circling the drain.
I don't care.
Can't pay her rent. She's losing her car.
Were they in Puerto Rico?
She's having medical problems because of it. And we just, like in the middle of the interview, said, these guys are going on vacation. Send us pictures so we could juxtapose the pictures of them on spring break against, TSA workers in food lines.
Oh my God! You know what I just realized, Mersh? It's not that Lindsey Graham was eating at Disney, because you eat at, there's restaurants Disney that are okay. He was eating at one of those character breakfasts that are basically just for kids. Like, they're for children because characters come by the table. So he went there like as a grown-ass man and to a character breakfast. Bro, he's a weird guy, man. He's a fucking creep.
He's a homosexual.
No, I know that. I know he's homosexual.
And let's just say I don't believe the compromising material on him is the fact that he's gay. We all know he's gay.
Okay, I hear you.
Right.
And
What you
people
can't
started
see,
saying,
what you can't see, Lindsey Graham is because it's a picture of him at the front. You don't see from, and there's somebody standing in the way. We didn't see his date.
Well, it was just
maybe his
weird.
date's the kind of person that really enjoys the character breakfast.
It was just weird that it was a race car bed.
Yes.
Getting pictures in.
It's such a contrast, right? Like the reality.
I'm just here with my. Listen, this kid is my nephew. All right, he's a part of my family. Yeah. Why do you have one bed?
That's all they had.
So twisted. Okay, so how many pictures have you gotten?
A bunch. People are sending. Not only are people sending pictures in, but the one you just showed a second ago. This is. There are probably 5 members of Congress in Edinburgh, Scotland, and they were at the Edinburgh.
What kind of fucking? Also, can I say something else? What kind of psychopath goes walking around Magic Kingdom in loafers?
And they were at the Edinburgh Castle, where they were taking a tour. And the people who took the pictures work on Capitol Hill. So even they are fed up. I know. That's the picture.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's
okay,
the
so
picture.
you have all these pictures of lawmakers. I mean, sometimes you see them like standing off to the side. It's not a full shot. I mean, Ted Cruz.
Okay, look, here's the question. Fuck all these guys, all these
I like
lawmakers.
that Ted
fucking
Cruz's
suck.
hair is naturally forming into a yarmulke now.
It is, well, you know. But it's like, it's also like, I understand and I get it. And then all these fucking resources, law enforcement, all this shit. I fucking hate this shit. But like, also it's like, it doesn't matter if they're in D.C. or not. They don't have the votes and they're not going to do it. Does it really fucking matter?
Yeah.
Does it really
True.
matter? Does it really matter if they're sitting in a fucking office up there? Does it matter? They're not doing anything. Fucking, who gives a shit? Merce, did you see this?
What?
Yes. Yep.
Is this hard to talk about?
A new entire documentary about Sky King.
They're honoring our boy.
Hashtag Sky King.
Yeah,
Seattle ground about to take off.
I'm sad they didn't ask you to be in this, Mersh.
It's gonna be crazy.
he was not the type of person to behave like that.
We got a very serious situation.
I did a kind of a bad thing.
So you hijacked the plane is what you're saying?
Yeah. I'm afraid I did.
This is a major metropolitan area. If that plane was used as a weapon, thousands of people
It wasn't, though. It wasn't.
It wasn't.
would be killed. He hasn't ever flown an airplane before.
How did he get that plane in the air by himself? I couldn't believe it.
What Microsoft Flight Simulator?
Let's be fair. Taking off in a plane is kind of easy.
Mm-hmm.
All right, it's landing a plane that's kind of difficult, and also like flying a plane is easy. Flying a plane when something goes fucking wrong is why you want an experienced pilot. Like you want a former Air Force guy, because God knows any one of us could get a plane into cruising mode and keep it going forward. Now, the difference between me and Royce or like a trusted pilot is if a fucking engine blows out, then you're like,
I can figure it out. I can figure it out. I play a lot of video games, dude. I could do it. I'm fucking positive I could do it.
But a working plane, I could get it up in the air. Again, as soon as I got it up there, I'd be like, I don't know what to do now.
I am in a bit of a
I'm in a bit of a pickle.
I'm in a dilly of a pickle here, aren't I?
Yeah, I picked a whole bouquet of whoops-a-daisies, and I am fucked.
Plan here. I do not intend to hurt anyone. I'm just out for some sightseeing. I play video games, so I know what I'm doing a little bit.
Hell yeah, dude.
Hell yeah, dude. It's the best line in that whole.
Do you have an idea of how much fuel you have left?
Holy smokes, this is going down quick.
In an hour, he's going to fall out of the sky. The only way out where nobody dies is if he lands the plane successfully.
No, there's another way.
There's another way.
Because, I can be a bad guy.
I'm requesting military assistance. He just made a threat.
I've never heard him say that. He could never be a bad
Of course,
guy.
they used this song.
He was always a sick guy. I don't know why he snapped.
I got a lot of people that care about me. It's going to disappoint them.
15
Bro,
minutes
they
fuel.
got the rights for the song, the Sky
Is
King.
going out or something.
Oh my god, he's gonna crash.
Oh man, I'm sick. I want you to whisper sweet nothings in my ear.
I don't think I can do that for you.
Damn it, people's lives are at stake here. Man, I'm sorry about this. I hope this doesn't ruin your day. Hey, you think this thing can do a barrel roll?
Trying to figure out how to use the autopilot first.
Boring.
He's going upside down.
Hell yeah, dude! Hell yeah!
Can we cut the cameras?
This is probably like jail time for life, huh?
Hell yeah, dude. Amen. R.I.P. man.
It's hilarious to see a Sky King documentary on Disney Plus. That's fucking so funny.
I actually forgot all about that. Boring. Those ATC, I've listened to those things like once a year. We do the Festival of the Sky King, and like every time I hear a new thing, and I'm like, this guy rules.
Genocide Circus said, do a barrel roll. Anything on the YouTube side?
How would I know? I'm kidding. No, I don't think so. We do have two. Captain 15 for 2 needs a shitty round of applause at the end, talking about our new intro.
Okay.
Scoob for 2 said, can you give a shout out to my bud Nikki the Greek? Hi, Nikki the Greek.
Hi, Nikki the Greek.
I feel like that's...
Are you Harry?
I feel like we're shouting out a criminal.
It's fine. I don't care.
It sounds like a criminal name. Oh, Nikki the Greek.
Sweaty Zeus gave $5
like,
on
is he Greek? Nah, he just likes gyros.
Sweaty Zeus says, did you see Vance was supposed to talk with them today and Israel killed him and I said that earlier. They killed that dude that was supposed to be talking with them.
Well, maybe he shouldn't have been talking.
Buonasera, it is me, Chris Cuomo. And I have got this molto bene ready, so I love my mother, I hate my brother, so let's get after it and have us a good time.
Some good fucking bread. Oh, okay, Christopher Cuomo. Here we go. Mersh, do you want to hear the story of Easter?
Here we go.
It is Holy Week. For Christians, this is the biggest part of what they call the liturgical or the religious calendar. Christmas is not really a thing for Christians, and I can explain why. Certainly not for Catholics.
Here we go.
It's going to be fun. I'm excited.
It's pagan Halloween, man.
Certainly not for Roman Catholics. But if you're batting your eyes and like, I'm not a Catholic or I don't care or religion is weird, I have a secret for you. There is profound meaning to what is being celebrated at this time of year, but it is not the religious that gives it meaning.
Why are you like this, Chris? Like, I don't understand it. Like, it's just... You're trying to be this provocative guy, and we don't know what you're fucking doing. It's like, what? You're stirring people up for no reason? Like, to a large part of the population, it's all about religion. Okay? They're called Mexicans, dude. Hispanics?
Hey,
you heard of them?
I just like to ask questions about, my thoughts within. I'm very introsexual.
No. Yeah, that's fine, Chris.
It's the secular. And I think one of the big hidden truths of our society, of our culture, of our existence is that religion didn't bring us the significance of what happens this week and during what we call Easter. It's that religion borrows from the reality of life.
You're such a cool guy.
Bro, him trying to be smart
He's so smart.
like, he's such an objectively stupid man. Like, he is dumb. Like, he's a dumb guy that if you didn't know he was Chris Cuomo, you just talked to this guy at a bar, you would go like, that guy was pretty fucking stupid, right? That was a dumb guy.
That's what my favorite thing about Chris. I love dumb people trying to be smart.
In taking its meaning, which is to say, there's a whole bunch of truth that you can put to work in your own life that has nothing to do with religion. In fact, secular thought, philosophical thought, is closer to the truth of what the Easter season is about than anything to do with Christianity. How so? Let me explain.
He's so fucking retarded.
I'm Chris Cuomo. Welcome to the Chris Cuomo Project. And thank you for subscribing and following and checking.
My wife said I had to come out of the basement because it was starting to smell. So I'm doing this from the living room today.
Yeah, she's got to get down there and get some stuff. Cleaning lady's coming over.
Yeah, so I got to be up here.
out all the new subscriptions over on YouTube. I hope you're making.
She says to me, Chris, if I slip on one more meatball hoagie wrapper going down the stairs to do laundry, there's gonna be a problem.
And what am I supposed to do? I love my hoagies after I work out, dude.
April Fool's Day. Okay. Now, it is preceded this year by Palm Sunday. Palm Sunday is just the story that when Jesus showed up in Jerusalem, people realized that he was the Messiah and fulfillment of the.
I just don't like this.
Hold on, let him explain religion to you. He knows more than you.
How did we get here?
No, he doesn't.
Virgie, Palm Sunday.
Well, even if you start with April 1st, okay? April Fool's Day, okay? Now, it is preceded this year by Palm Sunday. Palm Sunday is just the story that when Jesus showed up in Jerusalem, people realized that he was the Messiah and fulfillment of the scriptures, and they threw palms and threw down their tunics and all this other stuff so his feet didn't have to touch the ground because he was special, and that's why we give out the palms, and people like me make little crosses
Why
out
are
of
you
the palms.
talking like an old Jewish man who's just trying to hurry it along, and there's the palms and the thing,
Yada,
the palms,
yada, yada.
Yeah, if you don't want to be doing this, we don't want to be doing this,
Yeah,
Chris.
seriously, this is your show, Chris. If you don't want to put fucking any thought behind it, that's because you're retarded. Bro, you put this up 10 hours ago and you have 4,000 views? You used to be on CNN. You were a primetime anchor.
You used to bore tons of people across
Yeah.
the country. Now you're just boring a few people.
Come on, you know what that is?
Each other, very nice. And then they take the palms
Now
and they burn them up.
You
And that's
used to bore airports full of people. Now,
Yeah, well,
what are you doing?
Yeah, at least they have the airport chairs, but yeah.
what you use for Ash on Ash Wednesday, which is the start to Lent, which is what precedes the Easter celebration. Now,
he's losing himself.
Yeah, because he's stupid. He's a dumb Guido brain trying to do big religious thoughts, and he's too stupid to be able to do it.
why do we have it at all? The Christians were in a fix. They needed to find ways to develop their own religion, their faith, and their religion. Religion is just a set of rules.
Oh my God, is he using AI art?
Yeah, he's got to
Faith is what underlies the need for any type of behaviors. What do you believe, and then what do you do in furtherance of that belief? It's a two-step thing.
You suck, Chris. You're so fucking stupid. You're so dumb. You suck.
It starts with the faith. And they didn't want to scare people away. They didn't want to see.
I'm going to skip ahead. Wait, wait, skip ahead.
Right? Good Friday and Holy Saturday. And then,
I
of
hope
course,
you
you
get a
have
call
Easter.
from your brother later. Like, hey, what's this I hear about you bashing Jesus?
What was that? Well,
Come on, you know Mom sees these things.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's when Judas came and then he betrayed him and all that shit. So,
and all that shit.
Hold on.
Here they come to betray him. You know, all that shit. Yada, yada, yada. What's the problem?
It's like he studied George Carlin to teach us religion.
It's like Tony Soprano telling the story of the fucking Jesus Christ.
You know, whether they betray Jesus or fucking whatever. What?
but they were having Passover dinner. And it's called,
he sucks, dude.
Called the Last Supper because it was the last one that Jesus would have. And that's when Judas.
No, it's because the restaurant closed at 9 p.m. It's the last seating they had.
Came and then he betrayed him and all that shit.
Because of the Last Supper, they said the kitchen's closing. Get your fucking orders in.
Then he handed them the late night menu.
Yes.
Because that's all they had.
They said, sorry, appetizers only after 11 p.m.
Fine, I'll take the manna sliders, I guess. Thank you.
It's
a Bible joke.
So there was Jesus eating his triple dipper when Judas decided to sell him for 30 pieces of silver. Now, that's a lot of money nowadays. Because fiat currency is, and what do I mean by that?
Polly Walnuts comes in. That rat fuck Judas. Right, Tone?
Hey, Colin, I would have never done you like that, Tone.
Right?
This Passover supper, because they were Jews.
Also, he's trying to do some sort of like dumb Guido version of the Jeff Goldblum thing where he's like trying to piece things together.
The Jews.
Jesus says to the disciples, look, we're going to make a promise to each other right
to
now.
the disciples, he says, look, we're going to get the fuck out of here. We're going to dine and dash.
Oh, no.
At the Last Supper.
He says, look.
And then, you know what happened? They left Judas with the bill. That's why he was so angry.
Mm-hmm. Jesus really was black. He dined and dashed.
There's a reason why I picked the table with the waterside view. I'm taking off right across that motherfucker as soon as we get the bill.
I'm gonna tell you some heavy shit, okay? And first of all, something's going to change. Bad things are going to happen. And don't tell me no. Don't listen to me for a second. First,
no one else is in there. No one's stopping you. This is pre-recorded.
Hey, everyone shut up.
What?
Let's see. But this is no ordinary meal. Take this bread. This is my body. It's going to be given up for you. Take a drink of this wine. Take a sip. This is my blood.
This is no ordinary meal, okay? This bread is sourdough bread.
Oh,
which is going to be given up for you and for all going forward. And this is huge in Christianity, especially Catholicism. Catholics believe in what's called transubstantiation, which means that it really wasn't a metaphor.
That it's not just bread from Panera. It's the body of Christ.
Bread and wine.
And that this isn't just a bottle of Barefoot below.
It would
it's
be.
Jesus'
It would
blood.
be Barefoot. It would be Barefoot below. It would be that 7-Eleven wine.
He just wanted to be representative of these things. That's what most Protestants believe. Catholics believe
that Jesus' soul can jump into a bottle of MD 2020. Now,
I didn't know that. Is that true? Can that?
Only the apple flavor.
Okay.
That there is something magical about this. That there is something...
Take these tropical Skittles, for they are my body.
Real about the change. And when they
that's basically what he's doing, right?
The communal rite.
And apparently these Catholics, they get real mad when you dip the bread in the wine. And I go, what? I do this all the time when I eat my pasta.
Oh, God.
That's what they believe it is.
It's fucking tomato sauce floating in his wine.
Well, you don't want me to pour the wine into the bread, make a bread ball.
Hey, what's wine but balsamic vinegar that gives you a buzz?
Is the changing of bread and wine into the body and blood.
I'm going to skip ahead because I think he's going to get to something maybe 20 minutes in.
What happens when you get your bread and then it turns out your broccoli cheddar soup late?
I hate that. That's the worst.
The Jews didn't believe any of this.
Whoa.
Jesus. No, literally.
Other than the Passover stuff. But they had a totally different story. But the idea of rising from the dead, obviously Jesus did it with Lazarus, but Hercules in the Roman tradition of polytheism.
Sir, you are very boring.
He's so dumb.
And no matter how badly you want to be smart, you're not smart.
And you never will be, Christopher, and you never will be.
What do I mean by that? I mean you're a dumb fucking Guido.
Thank you, Mersh. He'll understand that. That's his language.
Yuri Tadid for 5 said, I love how he keeps talking about religion and cussing like crazy. Very Christian-like, Christopher.
Yeah, seriously. Irish Serpent says, for $5, and that's how Andrew Cuomo became the preferred son. Genocide Circus get $3. So I told my wife, if I throw away my meatball sub wrappers, where will I hide the corpses of all these birds I keep bringing home?
The way I see it is like, why is it this Jew pisses off these other Jews, and then what, a bunch of Italians have to step in and sort it all out?
See, now you're paying attention. This is fun.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Root Raj. Missing in Michigan, a fully automatic machine gun.
They lost a machine gun in Detroit.
It's a powerful weapon, and now no one knows where it is. A case of lost in the mail, maybe even stolen. Fox News' Jessica Dukeback is live now after
Jessica Dukeback
talking to the gun's owner. And Jess, this isn't just like
Whoa, it changed her hair, huh?
Look at that.
Something
She looks
that's
like a Twin Peaks character.
Seriously.
Oh my God, she does look Lynchian.
She looks Lynchian.
There's an old man in the mirror when she looks in the mirror. There's a screaming old man.
Yeah.
She dreams about Indians and shit.
innocuous that's missing. It's a dangerous weapon that's out there.
Hey, listen, Jessica, I get that you're unfuckable, but do you have to dress like you're unfuckable?
Yes.
Can we all take a moment and agree that fucking Twin Peaks sucks?
Twin Peaks sucks.
Yeah, of
Twin
course.
Peaks sucks.
Yeah,
Twin Peaks sucks. Twin Peaks sucks.
Bro, my girlfriend tried to make me watch it, and I shit you not, we got through one episode, and I counted no less than 5 times where I went, like
Yeah,
out
hold on.
loud.
Look, the only way you'll get me to watch David Lynch is Wild at Heart. It's Nicolas Cage and Willem Dafoe
Hold on.
being insane.
Hold on. Let's see if she's a Twin Peaks character. Hold on. Oh yeah.
Yeah, sorry. The only way you could get me to watch David Lynch is if he's sitting in an ISIS fire cage begging for mercy.
Well, he's dead anyway, so.
I would bring him back from the dead just so he could die again.
Okay, that's fair.
Fucking hate Lynch.
Yeah, absolutely, Rube. We're
I
talking
hate
about
David Lynch. He does all these stupid things, and then you're supposed to go, David Lynch? Get it?
No, I don't.
No.
I don't.
$25,000 weapon here. It is very rare and very powerful.
Jessica Dupnack looks like she gives an intense hand job, though.
Oh, yeah. What's the calluses that get you off?
Yeah.
Tell you all about it in just a second. And the person that might have this tonight may not even know exactly what they're dealing with. The mystery surrounding this missing submachine gun is wide open.
You look like you clip your toenails on the toilet.
Mersh, you pronounced bus wrong.
I hate this woman.
You said bus wrong, Mersh. You pronounced
clipped
bus
your
like
toenails
toilet.
on the bus. Oh. I just picture you clipping your toenails on the bus.
Click.
Click.
She's the kind of person where...
And they boomerang around and start hitting other people?
You can't help it, man. You catch strays when you clip toenails.
She looks like the kind of chick who eats boiled eggs in her cubicle.
Yes.
Or tuna.
She microwaves fish.
She microwaves fish.
Oh, God. She is every horrible employee in a corporate environment. Like, every horrible employee looks like Jessica Dupnack.
She's the reason there's 6 signs in the break room.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean?
She's a fucking problem.
Hey, Jessica, what's wrong? You look sad. Oh, 2 of my cats ate 5 of my birds. It's really bad there. I haven't cleaned it yet. I've been so sad. There's feathers everywhere. Blood.
5 of my birds. The other 16 are still okay, right?
Oh, fuck.
Oh, yeah, the other 35 are fine. Wait a minute. No, one's dead and a cat choked on it. So that's 2 down.
You know what? Ironically, one of my cats is named Sylvester. I guess he finally got Tweety.
Missing a fully automatic Uzi submachine gun. Last seen
Fuck, based.
at the U.S. Postal Service in Detroit.
It's next to impossible to lose a registered package.
No, it's not. It's actually not.
Are
it
you
happens
fucking
all the
kidding
time.
me?
If they can't find it, someone took it.
The owner is a licensed firearm dealer in Ohio. Says tracking.
You know what he shouldn't have done? Was write machine gun with a big marker
Yeah.
on top of it. That's what the problem was.
Dude, somebody really did just jack this fucking Uzi.
Dark in February in Detroit while the Uzi was headed to a buyer in Florida.
The odds of it falling into the wrong hands, making national news, and having my name attached to it.
Oh,
I'm
don't
not
worry. It'll come up shortly.
looking forward to something like that.
Who has it? Whichever gang is currently winning.
God, I want one of those.
This is a serious weapon, fully automatic, meaning it fires continuously while the trigger is pulled. New production was banned in 1986.
Right now.
No, but here's the thing. It's very rare to have one that has the license and all that stuff. That from
Oh yeah,
from
of
the time.
course. It's like 40.
That's-
That gun's like $40,000.
That's really cool. Like that's a cool like because of these shitty laws though. If you if you do have one of them, that's pretty neat.
One of my favorite threads on 4chan ever was this dude on K who he's like a dude that hung out on like the video game boards and his dad died, right? So he came to the K board, which is where all the guns are, and was like, I don't know what the fuck I have here, guys. Can you guys help me out? And started posting pictures. And his dad had left him like fucking $6 million worth of guns.
That's
and
awesome.
had like fucking 11 NFA items.
Really?
One of the guns his dad left him was a new in-box, never-fired MP5K. Fucking in full auto.
So
cool.
1986.
Right now, the ATF has me down as losing a machine gun.
I would tell
But it's not his fault.
anybody if you have anything to do
Yeah,
with
but what's
this,
the ATF
get on
going
the
to do?
right
Blame the other feds?
side of this thing now before it gets out of hand.
Paul Vanderplow is the former special agent in charge of the ATF Detroit. He says when
Oh,
registered
cool.
mail.
So that's why it got lost.
Oh, guys, I'm really worried that the agency that I don't think should exist has to go after a gun that I don't think should be illegal.
Wait, this dude's last name is Vanderplow and he isn't a porn star or a Dutch farmer? What a fucking waste of a life.
Like guns are shipped, the requirements on packaging is extensive and obvious.
Unfortunately, it just puts a big flag on it and says, here, look what this is.
Oh, because it's obvious on the package. That's how they knew to steal it.
Registered mail requires sign-offs by employees, and these facilities have a lot of cameras.
I mean, off the top of my head, I could think of 3 or 4 charges just on the ATF
A transferable Uzi.
side that doesn't even mention what the Postal Service would have.
We did reach out to USPS for comment about this situation. They did not get back to us in time for this story. Now, Steve, the gun's original owner, he said he did get a call from someone with USPS over the weekend. They gave a little bit of a vague response to him, said they were investigating, and of course now the ATF is also involved.
It's a felony if you got that, if you stole that shit. Okay, Mersh, I am now going again to try to do a live read. Let's see if it works.
I sent a very professional email.
No.
I didn't think it would.
No. Anything over on the YouTube side?
I'm going to check real quick. Sorry. Why is it so slow? Why are you being a slow gay person?
I'll check Ko-Fi, too. I'll check Ko-Fi. She haven't done that yet. We do have something over on the Rumble side. Don't worry, your Uzi is currently shooting ricocheting rounds into a crib in Mexico. Oh, okay. Well, that's fine. Let's see here. Let me check Ko-Fi here real quick. All right. Fork in my dongle. Hey, guys, I'm late. Can you start the show over? Thanks for $5. No. All right. RevengeOfTheSys.locals.com, guys. That's where you need to go. That is where you need to go to catch Wednesday shows, Friday shows. I really do think you guys are going to like them. You should really head over there right now. It's just $7 a month. I think you're really going to like that. You're really going to like it. And I think you're going to like every single movie riff we do. They're amazing. And to be fair, last week we tapped out on the other one because it was so bad. But we played riff tracks, which was fun. So RevengeOfTheSys.locals.com. We have Mark Harley coming up second hour, guys. Yep. So stay where you're at. See you soon.
Make me feel days, running a small business can be a big challenge. Whether we're receiving a flower delivery for unclear reasons, or raising the blinds and flipping over the open-closed sign, which is how I spend most of my workday, or even making a latte for a black woman, an iced tea for a white woman, and a coffee for a gently brown guy who could go in a lot of different directions. We've got our hands full. That's why Chase Bank is here for us. When this man in a suit from Chase Bank came down and shook my hand at my place of business, it really solidified what we'd already talked about at his office. Now we're looking at a laptop like my stupid little coffee shop is going to be a big disruptor in the online space. And my Chase business card allows me to make those emergency purchases that I lose sleep at night over. Chase understands my business the way they understand all businesses, as a huge reverse funnel that shoves money upwards to them. Hey, another flower delivery. These'll look great in the bathroom while I'm pooping blood from the stress. Now I'm flipping over that open-closed sign again. Is that a new stadium with Chase's name on it? How'd they afford that? I'll be in this bathroom for a while. Better toss it to the announcer.
At Chase Bank, we're about more than just foreclosing on American servicemen while overseas. We're about small business. So when you think of Chase, don't think of the 2008 financial crash. Think of your local sympathetic small business.
Flower delivery.
Yeah, guys, we're good on flowers for a while.
Second hour, ROTC. Thank you for staying with us, guys. We do appreciate it. If you sign up on Locals, well, we appreciate it even more. All right, Merce, do you want to set up our guest here?
Yeah. Well, if you watch our show, you may remember a long time ago this gentleman being the producer for Brendan Schaub and his various podcast stuff. Now, you may know him as the buff guy who's in literally every fucking commercial that I see now.
I know.
Ladies and gentlemen, hello, Mark Harley.
What's up, man?
Thought this would never happen.
Appreciate you coming on, dude. I really do.
Yeah, of course. It's great to be here.
This is awesome, man. I mean, we've been covering. We stopped covering Brendan for a little while because after a while it's like Jesus fucking Christ, dude. But we started
too depressing. You mean?
Yeah, it's sad. It's like just sad.
The show is just sad now.
Yeah, it's just like,
everyone's sad.
Everything's a cope and like just anger.
Yeah,
really.
Yeah, and I can see that perspective because even his toughest critics, you're like, because you're still detached somewhat from it, right? You don't know him personally. I have this I'm in a war with him. Like he's tried to personally, do a lot of things to me. I'm like, oh, I'm not the kind of guy that just lets that shit go. You make some jokes about me, like any of these channels that make fun of me while I'm with Brendan Schaub. I'm like, look, I don't give a fuck about that, right? Like, if you try to actually smear me and cause me reputational harm, like, you think I'm gonna fucking not go to the grave trying to murder you metaphorically?
Metaphorically, of course.
Yeah. So, but if I was in your perspective, looking at this, it's like it's starting to get to that territory where it's like, we kind of did it, didn't we?
Yeah.
Are we kicking a guy while he's down now, or?
I mean, to be fair, I always felt like it was kicking a guy who had downs, but whatever. That's the way I felt. That's
part of his charm. Like I was talking to a guy last night. I go, part of the things when I met him, I knew nothing about Brendan Schaub. So like, because you feel foolish afterwards. Like, how did I not see this? But I go, I was introduced to him by Chappelle AC. He seemed kind of quiet and humble and like not that smart, and they were looking for guidance in the weight room. So I'm like, sure, I'd love to help you guys. I didn't realize this was, I didn't realize, first of all, that before I'd even met him, he was like shitting on my physique and saying, oh, he only has a six-pack because of steroids. And he doesn't know what he's talking about. I'm like, I was introduced to him neutrally. I didn't really know that he kind of had like a pre-existing obsession with my body, which is weird. But,
well, it's not that weird. He,
so you guys were like starting off kind of at the same gym, and I guess he saw you and was probably like, fuck that guy.
What's funny is in this lawsuit, which again, I kind of figured I'd send stuff over as it needed to be, proven, but I'm happy to send this over in the law, like the first line of the lawsuit, because I'm going through it. I'm like, you realize every single thing about this document is false from the very first sentence, which is, I first met Mark Harley when he was a trainer at Zoo Culture. And I'm like, I'm sorry, when was I a trainer at Zoo Culture? That doesn't exist. You shouldn't put that in a legal document, because you can subpoena Bradley Barton and be like, did you ever employ Mark Harley? Are there any clients that Mark ever trained at Zoo Culture? Because if not, you're just lying, And it's off to the races from there. But
so what's the lawsuit about specifically?
The lawsuit is about, it's a labor board lawsuit, so it's very specific to unpaid wages, unpaid overtime, penalties for meal breaks, pay stubs, all these formalities of how you run a business, which of course Brendan doesn't do anything properly. I mean, from severance pay to like hours to salarying me. It's like he treated me like a salaried employee, meaning, I have part of this evidence that I have to present is like he was in contact with me at all hours of the day asking me to do work stuff, whether it's checking his Instagram or, he's just, his wife has just discovered that he busted a load in his underwear while doing his laundry. And I have to come up with some scientific based excuse of, why he busting it.
It was this new. It was this
Listen,
new.
we do very intense training.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, we do very intense training, and sometimes you come. Sometimes you come.
Literally on that level of like kind of, but I said HCG, if you know about
Yeah.
Here, tell her you just took HCG to restart your HPTA after you did a cycle of testosterone and your nuts are overproducing sperm and you bust in your pants and it's really embarrassing and that's why I didn't mention it first, while you were texting me to figure out what the fuck to say. But, so like, in that regards, I'm his fixer, right? Yeah. He's coming to me with emergency. He's like, I just got caught cheating. What the fuck do I do? I'm like, try this, and it would work.
And then she's like, okay, but why would the HCG put glitter on his crotch? That doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense to me. Okay.
Yeah, that is a question that Joanna would ask. I was about to be like, anything you're asking is going to be too smart for Joanna to ask.
Wait, and he spent $1,200 for this HCG at a place called Spearmint Rhino? Is that a supplement store?
Yeah, they sell peptides there. It's totally legit.
Again, I didn't know about his rub and tug fascination either, like until watching like other episodes where people made a highlight of like, you bring up getting your dick jerked off at these places quite a bit, or the concept of like rub and tugs a lot. And then I remember one day I'm pulling into work thinking I'm going to be late. I'm like, oh fuck, I'm like, oh shit, I'm behind Brendan on the freeway. I better like get in as quickly as possible, before 9 a.m. for the shop show. And I see him like pull off the freeway to the Boy Studios, and then he gets back on the freeway. I'm like, I go in the studio. We're all waiting around for like 90 minutes. And a few days before, he had been like, oh, my buddy told me there's this like great rub and tug like that. He just pointed generally like, oh, west. Okay, so it's in this direction. That's where you headed. And then he came back and did not acknowledge anything was wrong. Like normally he'd be like, oh, sorry, I had to be on my phone with my agent. I'm a little late. He just comes in like, hey, what's up, guys? Like, nothing. What's up with you? 90 minutes late, no explanation.
Yeah, but he's like totally relaxed. He's totally
You're very relaxed about this. No stress at all, no panic that you're so late. And I saw you pull back onto the freeway.
I would have told him there's this great rub and tug there. It's called the Massage Envy. Go in there. They just really aggressively ask them for one.
Yeah, just put their hand on it.
Yeah, seriously.
I love that.
Yeah, so that was a thing,
Yeah.
that I witnessed. Because I repeating stuff where it's like, yeah, I get there's this general idea, but I'm like, it's nice when I get to chime in and go, so I did see that firsthand.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel a little bit more comfortable, testifying to it.
Yeah, so it happened. Look, man, the thing, I think what gave him a lot of credibility, I would say, and we talked about it, is obviously he's in the Rogan sphere, right? So when you're in that sphere, that does kind of lend some sort of like secondhand well, if Rogan's cool with him, and it's I get that, but he is his. I mean, you would know better than anybody, but he's his own worst enemy, man. He does it to himself.
Like no one I've ever seen. Like no one I've ever seen. Because it's such high stakes things too. Like he's done it with there's a number of things. Like, are you aware of the CBD lawsuit that he's in right now?
Oh, we covered a little bit of that, but we know kind of cursory about that. Yeah, about somebody that paid him to promote something, or it was his CBD product, right? Something like that?
Yeah. And well, he had an ownership stake in this, and I'm just saying this because when I first met him, he was like, within like a month of meeting him, I remember him bringing this up at Zoo Culture, kind of like I come to lift one day, and he's like, man, I'm like dealing with this thing right now that's like, and then he painted a narrative in which he is the victim of being defrauded by the owner, by which he's like, these checks were coming in on a regular basis of a certain amount, and then after a certain time, they started to dwindle. And I'm kind of like, what's going into it? And he made it seem like, my stocks were, diluted or something like some sort of social network-esque, scheme to defraud him of his ownership of the company illegally. And I'm like, oh man, like, 'cause I didn't know him. So I'm like, why would somebody lie about that? I'm like, that sucks, man. I'm sorry you're going through that. And then years later, that guy reaches out to me, gives me all the court documents, because he's like, hey, I hear you're going through a law shop too. Like, would you like to? And it was like from a burner account on IG, so it's kind of like, I'm a little skeptical, but sure, go ahead. And then he sends me, and I'm like, oh, he's fucked. Like, this guy's got him dead to rights on everything. And the scheme was exactly the opposite of what he said, which was there's 3 layers to it. One, he owns this ownership stake in the company, right? And he would benefit by promoting it, talking about how his kid magically, had his seizures cured because of this magical CBD, which I don't even know. Like, sure, that could be true, but Schaub is obviously known to exaggerate and say, yeah, scorpion milk fixed my bicep, or whatever. Holistic bullshit, right? So that was one part of his income. The second part of his income was, we're going to pay you a flat fee monthly for the social media posts that you do. These minimal, like, hey, post a few stories every month and 2 feed posts, standard like social media agreement. And then thirdly, based on you linking, and promoting, you're going to get commissions, like as if you were a regular influencer, just going like, every time people put in code retard, you're going to get a fucking, And so he's complaining to me like, oh, they're fucking up my money. And then I find out, in fact, it was because he did not post a single social media post over like the entire year. So all he did is like, you got to post a story and a picture of saying CBD, like, and it's your company. And he missed like all 180 out of 180 posts. And I wouldn't have, like, I was ready to believe it, to be honest, but I had seen the same thing with Rogue Nicotine up close. It was like, all of a sudden somebody gave him a boat, a dump truck full of cash. I think it was like $200,000 to $300,000 to like be like a Rogue Nicotine athlete or something. And at some point before the final quarter of 2022, either like the management of that department changed hands or something, they audited it, but they're like, hey, we see here that Schaub, you've done nothing. You've posted nothing. Would you like to be in breach of contract, or would you like to crank out all those social media posts in the next 3 months? So all of a sudden, Big Boy Studios.
By the way, that would have been so funny. It would have been fucking, because he's so behind. All of his tweets would have had to be about the fucking CBD, like literally all of them.
Yeah, and that was for CBD, but this one was for Rogue Nicotine. Again, years later, where he was caught and given an opportunity to correct it. So they were able to catch it midstream, and like, he had a creative director there. And this is one of the reasons that the guy quit, because he's like, dude, I did not sign up for this. I'm working way too long to like make this a Rogue Nicotine social media ad factory, because that's like the top priority now. It's just like ridiculous, and from my perspective, it was funny because I didn't have to really do that much of that part, but I feel I'm like, this guy was like, coming from the world of film and TV to be like, let's crank out Rogue Nicotine ads with a retard who can barely fucking get through an ad read, just so he doesn't get sued for $250,000, for breach of contract. So I've seen him do that. And then, but it's funny how it's like, again, his version of it in real time was to say the opposite of, reality.
But it's also like with him, he is stupid. I mean, that's obvious. That's obvious to anyone that just hears him talk. He's bad at improv. Obviously, anyone who's ever tried to do that with him, he doesn't. Like, I see him literally kill bits like in the fucking crib. He murders them in the crib, and I'm like,
and
what
the basics? Yes, and he doesn't know. Yes,
he
and.
doesn't know any do that. He just goes, no, Papa. That's the opposite. He's the opposite of improv. He's like, no, Papa. Actually, and he says he's always so sure when he's so wrong that it blows my mind.
It's actually, honestly, admirable in a way.
It's crazy.
He's shockingly confident.
Yeah, it's something
Like,
he has no clue.
Like, damn. Would I be farther in life if I could just be like, yes, I'm correct?
Well, maybe you'd have a fucking Showtime special. I mean, he got one. I mean,
there's literally CEOs to this day that do that. Like, they just take over Disney, and they're like, do you have a plan? And they're like, all women Ghostbusters.
Oh, fucking great idea.
Sound like good. He sounds confident. I guess it'll probably work.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I agree that, like, because as you probably, this is common knowledge, right? They're like, where are psychopaths misrepresented disproportionately? Like, politics, CEOs, sort of like, people in these leadership positions who just need to be in charge, like without the skills necessarily. But he's one of those guys who's like, you seem to need to just be in charge all the time, and you don't like it when anyone threatens your position, and you'll play along when you kind of get the hierarchy. You'll defer to Crystalia. I always say, like, Crystalia could look at him and go, you know, you're the gayest, stupidest motherfucker I've ever met, and you gobble cocks every night and get, you know, pegged in the butt by Joanna, and I hate you as a person. I think you're worthless. And he'd be like, he's so funny. He's so funny. You know, because he's up the hierarchy. And he kisses ass up, and then, you know, we'll bitch privately about whoever, you know. I've heard a lot of Rogan bitching, obviously, because that's his daddy, but and one of the few people who kind of try to talk it to him straight. But otherwise, you know, he kisses ass up, shits down, and just misestimates his own position in that hierarchy. He always thinks he's better than he is, you know, compared with reality.
Well, he doesn't know how to lead. I mean, that's the other thing. Like, he wants to be a leader, but he's just kind of a dummy. And he gets so aggressive. He gets the problem with Brendan is, for somebody who wanted to be in comedy, like, he doesn't know how not. He takes everything too seriously. Like, he doesn't. He doesn't know. You know, he gets his feelings hurt. You see his feelings get hurt in real time, and he becomes very sensitive about it. When he was like, maybe we should just entire show behind Patreon. The whole show should just be a Patreon show. That way. And his reasoning was such a, like, girl reasoning. It's like, that because, you know, every time I say something, people are yelling at me. And it's like, it's just, you're an asshole. Like, what do you want me to tell you, Brendan?
Well, recently he had a thing where he was reading an email from, like, one of the listeners or a comment about how much the show sucks now and how much, like, Brian Callen's checked out. And it had criticisms of Brendan, too. But he just kept kind of ignoring the criticism of him. And every time I would come back around to Brian, he'd be like, yeah, Papa, Brian's, like, real checked out, bro. Like, he just was throwing him under the, and he's like, you could tell he was enjoying, like, even asking his producer, like, wouldn't you say Brian's got it checked out? And you could see the producer's like, I'm not, you know, just leave me out of this, man.
Yeah, I don't want to.
Yeah,
I don't want to be.
That's fucking hilarious, because I was watching that, and somebody asked me about, like, what their dynamic is and like how much sympathy you should have for Callen. And I go, it was painful for me to watch Brian, because Brian, for whatever his fault, I can separate, like, his faults and whatever, and I can speak his praises independently. My praises for him are, he's really good at setting people up for bits and being a comedic partner. You know, he'll play the, like, oh, what do you mean? And, like, let Leah roast him or whatever. So he's good for a guy like Brendan, whose default is just, like, shit on everyone around you as a form of comedy. Right. You know, like, just push down and, like, you suck and you're wrong, and, like, the opposite of yes and. But Brian can turn that into funniness. It's just, over time, when you never get to reverse it, it's like, okay, dude, this is like bully Brian Callen hour. And especially like once he knew that Brian had to kind of be on the show and had no other options, he's like, oh, a power vacuum, you know? It's sad, but somebody asked me, do you think they talk about this? Because it's like, you're airing these grievances that sound like it could be a private conversation, you know, of how to fix things. And I go, yeah, Brian has had these conversations where he tries to explain the basics of comedy, like yes and, or how to keep a bit going without going negative or shutting him down. Brendan isn't trying to hear it, because Brendan thinks that he's an expert on comedy by virtue of having had a special, you know? And like,
well, it was so well received. I'd understand why he think he's an expert at it. You know, everyone really liked it, and they liked his follow up.
Right, that's fair. That's right. I should have thought about you. He is a phenom. He was just a sort of child savant at comedy who stepped into the game, and you know, it's like, is this Dave Chappelle or? You know, how did he get so good in such little time? Was he secretly doing stand up the whole time in the UFC?
No, that's what it was. That's what it was. Like, he deserved that Showtime special if anyone deserved it, you know, to show that Showtime isn't a viable fucking comedy network anymore, which honestly really did show everybody that's like, we don't have Carlin up here anymore, guys. Okay, we have this guy.
They don't even have Gallagher anymore.
No, they don't. All right, Pete Gallagher.
Now, also, have you heard him talk about, like, his logic for not only accepting it, which I think is actually more reasonable, because he was like, you almost agree that he's like, look, they offered me a lot of money. Like, what am I going to say? No, it worked out for them. Like, whether or not, you know, there's a business logic to why he accepted it. Although I think a normal human would be like, I have to work on this like 18 hours a day in order to just get up to par, right? And he did not do that. You know, his set was not tight. His jokes were not good. He could have farmed it out, you know, all the writing out to somebody else. He could have just been like, sit me in a room, I'm going to talk about everything in my life that I care about. You turn it into fucking jokes, and I'll repeat it and treat it like it's a play that I'm going up and doing. There's ways to hack that he just didn't. But then on the opposite side of it, his expectations for the reception of it were, he's like, I thought, you know, and this is like open, vulnerable moments for him. He'd be like, I thought, man, I'm going to do this special, and all my peers are going to accept me. Like, I thought, like, D'Elia and Theo would be like, you're one of us now. I'm like, do you think that's how stand-up comedy works?
Yeah.
You can skip the open mic scene and that people fucking trudge through, like Shawshank, it's like you're fucking just night after night. Like, every comic I know has gone through this process that is fucking horrible. It's like, make it through this this never-ending boot camp.
Well, what happens with comedy that I will say, this always happens, and this happened with Shab, which is the reason why we get really frustrated, especially with LA comics. It's like, these guys, they all shit on each other and they all roast each other and all that stuff, but like they never actually will shit. They always have to be nice to each other in this weird fake way that happens a lot in the comedy community, where they're like, no, but that Brendan guy, he's okay, he tries, and it's like
he's not okay. I go, no. Have you met him? Have you really gotten to know him? It's like, this guy has a personality disorder, and he's that's a mask, and because you're up the food chain, you're going to see him kissing your ass more and be deceived by that. But if you really, and I didn't know at first too, because I'm like, all I know is this guy's being nice to me. I didn't even realize he was talking shit about me on air before I met him, because Chappelle Lacey would like bring up like, oh, I'm working out with Mark Harley. And they bring up my IG and be like, oh, that guy's on fucking steroids, and oh yeah, it's only because of this, and that's just genetics. And he was being like dismissive of me and saying that I didn't know what I was talking about as far as that before I even met him. So it's like, I'm a coach. You can't defame me. You can't be like, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about as you're misquoting my diet, But these other people have this sympathy for him that I go, trust me, I had that too, because you're like, I'm going to help this retarded man. Seriously, like I go, even the Reddit thing, I'm like, you got a problem here. My first ideas, I think, would have been more effective. I'm like, you need to reclaim your narrative, tell your story. I don't know why you're leaning out of the UFC thing. People want to hear about tell UFC stories on stage. Be yourself. You know what I mean? You're trying to be another comic. And that's what narcissists do, is like piece together other people's personality traits. And you're trying to be a little Dalia, a little Theo, a little this and that. But it's not you. It's not authentic. And you're lying about it. People want to see they're UFC fans. Getting the UFC funny, But he's like, no, I don't want to be known as that. I'm like, it's like actors worrying about getting typecast.
I don't want to be known as that. You know what, foreigners? Fucking shut up and play double vision. That's what we know. It's like, dude, shut up. Like, I hate people that do that. You're lucky enough to be in a position that because of you fucking doing that, you fucking have a fucking job.
Dude, after a UFC fight, I'll always do a breakdown on my show.
Yeah.
And UFC gives you a lot of chances to be funny. Like, you know what I mean? If you watch a whole UFC card, you should have like notes, and the next day have like a million. I have a million funny things to say about UFC the next day. Like,
right? Yeah, this is a never. I go the reason MMA, and I love MMA too. It's my favorite sport. So I'm like, if I were to be doing entertainment based on this, it's never ending. As long as UFC
there's
around,
always something.
You're gonna be able to have some sort of fucking joke. And if that's your community, there's an audience that's always there. That again, because people gave him a shot. Like you go see somebody once, twice, see him once, you're like, oh, I get it. He's starting out. It's okay. Second, third time, if you're getting worse, if you're stagnant or getting worse by that third time, you're kind of like, I'm not going to buy that fourth ticket, Yeah.
And Brendan had a whole built-in fucking audience of people wearing bedazzled tap-out shirts, and he just turned his back on him.
I'm sorry.
Like,
he had an army. He had an army of people wearing extreme couture, and he flushed it. And he flushed it.
That's not people who buy comedy. I go, that's not your, like, when you tap into a thing that you're not now competing. They're going to go see Jim Gaffigan too and fucking Mark Maron the next day. Like they're only going to see Brendan Schaub at the comedy club. That's going to be their comedy club experience for the year.
Oh my God, can you imagine?
Bro, if I was Schaub, I would be following the UFC in every city and setting up a gig. Every night, night. The night before, you'd be like, come see Brendan Schaub before the UFC gig. I would be printing money.
He could have hired you as like business strategist from day one. It's like that's what I'm always saying. Like I'm like, listen to your haters, because they're gonna have, I engage people in part because it's fun, it's entertainment, but it's like there could be truth to if somebody's shitting on you and then the same person says the same thing. Maybe it's true.
Yeah.
Well, that was the problem. Is he was kind of like the politician in his office, and you were like the actual army general, going like, "We got fucking problems down here on the ground." Yeah. And he just didn't want to listen to it.
You didn't do something. And I remember when I took over the TFATK Instagram account, that was like one of my first responsibilities. Without asking him, because I knew he would shut it down. I started talking back to the haters from the subreddit in Shabanese. So like they'd say something, I'd be like, heard it both ways, B. It drove them nuts because then they're responding like, what the fuck is this? So look, 10x engagement. By the time he got back to Brendan, he's like, I remember in Zoo Culture, he's like, Jay says like the TFAK social media is like unhinged. I'm like, no, it's not unhinged. It's very calculated, actually. What I'm doing is leaning into this joke in order to muddy the water of when a hater comes on and says the Shabanese stuff, they're planting their flag and going, fuck you. We're from the subreddit. We're here to destroy your shit. If I respond to them in Shabanese, I go, great, we're all having fun. Who's a hater? I'm not. The person who's
leaning in again. You lean. Okay, that's the thing. He's not. Okay, he's
and he shut it down, so it worked. I'm like, there was 2 posts. I'm like, you see how the engagement is 10x, and you're losing fucking followers every day, and this is a crisis. Like, try a new thing. I'm throwing fucking shit at the wall, and this is working. And you're like, I don't know, man. Too many people have emailed me. I'll go, okay. I don't know if you're making that up or not, because a lot of times he'll go, oh, this other person said it, so I have to like tell you to stop, when really it's your own opinion and you don't want to own it, because then I'd argue with you. I'd be like, prove it to me. He is very scared of change and very scared of like, ooh, it might look like this. I'm like, no, trust me, this is work. But he was too stupid to like, even though he would acknowledge like I'm like, oh, you have good ideas. Oh, you're really intelligent. I'm like, but you treat me like I'm a fucking idiot. So which is it? But he just, you present this on a silver platter. You're like, this is the strategy. Lean into it or die. Make merch about it.
Right.
There's no other way. And then once he didn't want to do that, I'm like, all right, so here's how you could legally like try to, use terms of service to whatever. And we go down the list. And I suggested actually that I'm like, or you could literally get hackers to come in. He's like, oh, I'm throwing this away as like option 7 would be if you want to hire actual hackers to come in and like try to shut this down. You could, in theory, you could do that, I guess, if you exhaust all the options. Like, but I'm not telling you to do that. And then he actually like went and did that, and that's what led to the Bobby Lee situation.
That's what about to ask about that, because Bobby Lee hacked his mainframe. That's what I remember. That Bobby Lee went into his mainframe and he hacked it and he leaked everything.
Yes, and so again, the story with that, I have to insert myself because I was like, I created a like, and again, because he's also telling me like I have no skills and I was just nothing, and I work 6 hours a week. This is part of the lawsuit where I'm like, I was on call 80 hours a week and traveling with you, and I had responsibilities that range from security to coming up with skit ideas to social media management to behind the scenes to like, helping selling merch, just, a jack of all trades. But it's a waste of my time because I'm like, you should be focusing on one thing that the other people can't do. But part of it was there's a lot of evidence of like me, helping him strategize, because I felt like everyone else is busy doing this other shit. Let me kind of, do some deep thinking about how to solve these problems that apparently are like really keeping you up at night, and no one has had a good solution thus far. But I thought maybe I could bring a fresh pair of eyes, and part of that is the subreddit, and part of that's like, okay, the first thing would be like, you need to write a book or something, Brendan Schaub story, and then because the story on you right now is you're a pathological liar, piece of shit, most hated man, blah, blah. You need to reclaim that. You're too passive, in asserting your version of events. There's nothing to even, you're not Brad Pitt. You can't ignore the comments on your Instagram page. You haven't made it that way. Whoever you're taking that fucking advice from is not you. You need to desperately engage with comments and humanize yourself. But, you can't do that, I realized, when you've told 4 different stories of your childhood, that all conflict. So like, that's off the table. Like, whatever you choose, you're fucked. But
he doesn't. It's funny because like it's the same thing about he goes to, when he was showing up to the Comedy Store and just like parking his truck up front like he was the man. And it's like that builds a lot of resentment, man, and a lot of people don't want to fucking help you after that. Like I remember that when they were talking. It was. Schaub and they were talking about how Shane Gillis was wrong for doing this, or a long time ago when he got fired from SNL, that Shane Gillis was wrong for doing that voice, and that those are the consequences and some shit like that, right? And I remember just going like, bro,
Brendan was?
Yeah, Brendan said that, and it was him and Callan.
Brendan's the most racist fucking person.
No,
I'm sure behind the scenes.
Yeah, of course. So he was like saying, those some shit like that. And I do remember saying that, and it's like I remember that I got followed by Shane Gillis, and then he sent me a DM with just a winky face and a thumbs up, and I'm like, oh, thanks, man. He's like, yeah, thanks for like looking out. Like, I don't know what the fuck that guy's even talking about.
Thank you, because I know that I've seen them interact before, and I'm like, I just think Shane's too savvy to try to like make a beef out of it. He knows it's just like he can ignore this guy because also
Oh,
like,
Shane's a fucking megastar now. Like he doesn't have to do anything really.
And also Shane's chill as fuck. I'm like, Shane is what Brendan wants to be. He's like, he actually lives that life of like, he's got a couple pairs of New Balances. He wears Wrangler jeans. He doesn't give a fuck about material shit. He gives a fuck about crushing. You know, that's all he thinks about.
You got to crush, dude. You got to crush puss, dude. That was his argument when they were mad at when he was like trying to make fun when they were trying to shit on us. Callan and Callan and Schaub were like, yeah, those guys don't even like crush puss, dude. They don't like play sports or whatever. I'm like, dude, seriously, that's the only thing. What?
I'm 40. I'm 42 years old. I'm not playing sports or crushing puss. You're right.
Are you fucking serious?
I can't believe they actually said that about you.
Yeah, they said they're not crushing puss,
and
they don't play. We don't play. And Callan was like, "Yeah, these guys don't even
raping
like
puss either."
Yeah, exactly, right? Yeah, I'm not flipping my truck. I'm not doing fun stuff like that. You know?
Yeah.
I have to say, like, but on the positive side of things, right? Speaking of crushing, like, you have to be pretty thrilled lately with your recent arc because, like, we have been literally coming across you naturally,
just in the wild
and like everywhere. And we're like, oh my god, it's fucking Mark Harley.
Mark Harley.
We're literally like texting each other like photos of our TVs.
Yeah, that's
and going,
true.
This
it's
motherfucker's in another commercial,
especially during the Super Bowl because I watched that live. Obviously, right to the Super. I'm like, is that?
I saw you more during halftime than Bad Bunny.
Yeah, no, fuck. No, I skipped the Bad Bunny thing. I was like, what the fuck? How did that happen?
So what's funny is like because somebody recently I went on the Jesse Lee Peterson podcast and like gave my email out at the end.
Oh, he's awesome, Jesse Lee.
Yeah,
he's the
it was
man.
funny because I went in like I go, all I have to do is go in and just have fun because these people try to go in and like if you're trying to stake some claim against him or have tension, I just. Again, went in this improv attitude of like open mind. I'm not going to research what these hot seat questions are. He's asking me, do Jews own the world? I'm like, this what?
Oh, dude, we broke him too. We were on his show too. He was like asking these serious questions, and we just not taking it serious. He was just started laughing.
Yeah,
because he wants you to take it seriously.
Yeah. So I was just too laughy about it and too, but being sincere. I'm like, I'm offering my sincere. I'm not like trying to make a bit of everything. But he asked about if I'm happy about ICE deporting all the Mexicans, and I'm like, look, man, if they're deporting big booty Latinas, I'm pissed, So like, that's all I gotta say. And I thought it was really fun, but you have to kind of be grounded and authentic in order to navigate that, and not be like, I have to defend, Kamala Harris or else, But sorry, what was the question?
How did you gave your email out? You were saying to get the Super Bowl.
And somebody wrote a really nice email from the subreddit that was like, I watched all your podcasts, like. Because again, I'll go on the subreddit. It's still cool that like people hate on me in public. Like I go, that's totally fine. That's your arena. I'm not even, I was banned not from commenting on the subreddit, but some guy in my DMs was like talking shit to me, and then I went to his page. I'm like, wait a second, you're like posting some weird ass shit on your Reddit. Like,
trust me, dude. They're Redditors. It's mostly. We had a hate page too. Trust me, it's mostly weird people. They're not like people that sit online stare at that white page all day with links. They're not the most grounded people that got stuff going on.
Yeah, and so I just made the mistake of engaging with a guy that wasn't even about the TFAT stuff. But I started talking shit back and forth and he's coming viciously at me, and I just kind of mirror that, and then I get banned from like DMs where I'm like, wait, did you see the start of this? Like he's using the most foul attacks imaginable. I'm just responding to him, and then I'm like, my account's banned for like, I could make another one, but now I like to go on the Reddit and be like, you know what? I can't even respond. I'll check the temperature of what's going on, and people are still shitting. That's fine.
Yeah, now you're like just Jane Goodall observing the gorillas in the mist. I get it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But it's still like, I like that and I'm comfortable with it. And then, I don't feel the need to like defend myself or whatever. It's a more relaxed posture for me. But this guy, so because so many people would be like, Mark has the worst everything and the worst blog, and I'm like, okay, I get it. Then a Redditor, sometimes in private will be like, oh, actually, think you're a cool guy. I'm like, thanks, I appreciate it. And it's genuine. And we exchanged numbers and, left him a funny little voice note. Like his name's sort of Italian. So it's like, hey, Francis Panetti, you fucking fucking you think you can lead a fucking family, move to Portland, Oregon, you little fucking twink. We're going to come get you. We know where you fucking live, like just out of nowhere, like his notes me. But this interaction, he commented me by saying it was cool seeing you go from Brendan's hanger on to like being in commercials. And I go, I like that that's like the narrative portion that is maximally embarrassing for Brendan and kind of fits this like leave Brendan yet. But the truth is, I've been doing it for so long. It's just like fucking Hollywood's difficult. You know, I took my first acting class in college in 2002, you know, and then like started doing plays in college, then started studying screenwriting, and then started doing improv. Like step by step, I've been, you know, in 2017, I was on a sketch comedy show with 50 Cent, and it's like, still didn't make, it's like, oh yeah, I made,
Oh yeah,
you know,
we played some of those.
Right. So it's like, I go, this notion that I like but some people really believe, like I was like, oh yeah, I'm just going to transition into commercial acting. It's like, that's not how it could work that way, but not for me, unfortunately, you know, but I like that. I like the fact that I've, you know, put in a lot of blood, sweat, and tears and been broke for a lot of this time, because I do think you should earn that shit, you know, and this is just a little bit of a payoff where I go, man, if I can pay my bills and have a little extra money, that's the dream for me as an actor.
But
you know what I mean?
be honest, it had to feel, it has to feel good, because I would feel, I'm telling you, in your situation, be like, fuck you, Brendan, you piece.
Yeah, you're vindicated.
I'm in the Super Bowl, motherfucker. Like, I'm sorry, that's awesome. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care how too cool for everybody given the opportunity to be in a Super Bowl commercial, be like, fuck yeah, whatever, let's go. Yeah, let's do it.
Yes, and I didn't mean to like dismiss that part of it or deny. I was just kind of setting up like the positive side of it for me was I've never, because I meet some kids in LA, like the kid I used to do skits with, Isaiah Miranda. You know, we had a falling out because he wouldn't tag me in the YouTube videos. I'm like, this video is doing 50 million views. Can you put my handle on it on YouTube? Like that's the break sticking point for you. My God, you're an idiot. So now I can't work with you anymore because you can't do the basics. But like, you know, that's another thing. I'm practicing skits all the fucking time, yada yada. But you know, this notion of like, does it feel good and kind of vindicating? Yes, because there's certain things I know what my skill set is. I know what my limitations are, and like, you know, you need to be buff in order to play Macho Man. You need to be able to do a passable impression of.
Dude, you're fucking jacked like crazy. You know, you're fucking crazy. You come to Orlando. We'll get a work. If you're in Orlando, let's get a workout.
I love that. I love that's one of my favorite things. Like where you meet up, you like, you know, because it's like, what are we gonna do? Like, go for dinner or drinks? You know, let's work out.
Let's get like, some wine and some cheese and network.
I'd much rather work out with a dude and have that be like the thing. Where like, hey,
and then we jerk off in the fucking shower men do. You know,
up, you know. But specifically Shab, because he treated me like, at the time too, I started working for him, I was making a living off of acting. I got a bunch of commercials in 2021, so I was like doing commercials on Nickelodeon shows, like as a recurring guest. And then the job that I started with him kind of took up all my time. So I could barely like go, I had to pass upon, you know, but I thought because he was promising me like, oh, trust me, you're going to do this. And then I'm going to like promote you to like this marketing position that doesn't exist because I don't know how to run a business and this is all going to fail. But I didn't, you know, I'm buying into a shared fantasy of like this endeavor will be successful, or that you have anything to offer me as far as like podcasting wisdom. Cause he really doesn't. He doesn't know how to do anything but like, you know, verbal diarrhea on camera. He doesn't know anything about the business of podcasting, really.
Yeah, but he also knows how to put really cool sneaks on the table, too. So everyone knows how cool his sneaks are.
The sneakers, good God.
God, I don't know. It's just like
I can't relate.
He has like this
1,000 pairs of the same fucking shit.
I don't get the sneaker culture at all.
Yeah, I don't. It's weird, right? It's like too much. Yeah. It's like, and he's turning into some sort of like weird Eminem wigger now. Like I can't keep up with what he's doing. No, he looks like he's about to battle rap somebody.
Oh, the blonde hair.
Yeah,
yeah. What is that? That isn't him.
I don't know. Midlife crisis is what I call it.
He very much exhibits the behavior of a guy that I can just tell doesn't have any real friends.
No.
Like, there's nobody in his corner that goes, you look ridiculous. Like, change your hair. You know what I mean? Or, like, if he just said right now, I'm going to do a rap album, like, he doesn't have any friends to go, that's probably not a great idea, you know?
You're 100% correct, because even the people who would have been that, like, you know, Rogan has tried to intervene or whatever, although it's like, well, he's got his own kind of ego issues that, you know, prevent him from kind of both perceiving and delivering that message in a way that, you know, it wouldn't cause lifelong resentment from Brendan and make him like secretly rivalrous
But
But,
everybody kind of has, with the Rogan thing, I say this, everybody kind of has a friend like that, I think, in a way, where,
Yeah.
you know, you became friends with them in one part of their life. Like Rogan and him being friends in the UFC part of life makes sense, right? If he's going to come on, like you were saying it earlier, to talk about a UFC, that completely makes sense. But it's like, he's still your friend and you still kind of want to be his friend, but now he wants to do this new thing. And then before you know it, he's on Facebook trying to get you into this multi-level marketing scheme. And you're like, fuck, man, now what do I do?
That's such a great analogy.
Yeah. Yeah, that's basically what he does.
Yeah. I was having this convo last night about like dissecting how has this guy not been expunged completely, because he's been relegated to just doing fight companions. But I'm like, there was a turning point probably around the Bobby Lee stuff, because Rogan respects Bobby Lee as a comedian, knows he's the real deal. And he's like, Brendan forced people to take sides against him, against Bobby Lee, who's beloved of the community and is the real deal as far as stand-up comedy goes.
Well, also, can I give Bobby Lee credit? Also, Rogan keeps wanting him to come on. He's like, nah, I'm good. Which is, that's just
I admire that.
Say whatever you want about Bobby Lee. There's a lot of stuff that, you know, you can goof on, but that's the part where out of all people, he's like, no. Rogan's even said on air, I would love to have you come here. And he's like, no, I'm good. And not many people would do that.
Who cut off their fucking left nut to be on Rogan.
Of course.
There is a lot of people who, I'm just saying, I know they exist hypothetically, but I've also met these people who like, think that I'm a connect. I'm like, they think they can go through. I'm like, oh, you don't know, like what? Like I'm the wrong guy to try to be like, could you get me on Rogan? I'm like, never. Could I even? Not even if I wanted to. Could I make 1% advancement towards this thing? Even if you knew Jamie or you knew Rogan, you asking to be on the show would be a disqualifier if he didn't already want you to be on the show. Or he didn't see some benefit. But so, to some people, that's their entire life goal is to appear on Joe Rogan, which I find weird because I'm like, shouldn't you just be like, you know, if you're Neil deGrasse Tyson, you're worried about physics, not getting on Joe Rogan, you know. But so yeah, to pass that. Oh, also, I will say privately, Chappelle Lacey turned that down, like not in the same way that Bobby did, but he was like, "Oh, I have a stand-up date," but he offered, like most people are like, "Oh, I'll cancel anything," but he was like, "Oh, I'm touring with Brendan, and I don't want to disappoint Brendan, so I'm like gonna forego that." I was like, "Oh, damn." You know, because he's brought up Chappelle Lacey a bunch of times as far as his athleticism. He's like, check out Chappelle Lacey, all these backflips he can do. You wouldn't expect it from this, you know, 260-pound, like thick black dude. But you know, so that's the only other person where I'm like, oh, you really don't care. You really don't, you know. And that's
respectable,
right? So yeah, and you know, just a highly authentic guy, and that of course does not mix with.
That's man. When he was just like fucking losing it, and he was just like, you know, and it was coming from their studio, and it's like, dude, man, you didn't know. But again, this like Mersh said, like this is how you know you don't have any real friends. Because if this was Mersh and I off air, Mersh would be like, you're not going on air with this. You're fucking insane. You can't do this.
I tried though. He called me and I said, because people would go like, you're his handler. I'm like, I could act as his fixer sometimes, like I said, with certain situations. You come to Unicrunch, like, for example, a small version is Tim Kennedy's going to be on his show promoting his book. He hasn't read the fucking book, but he wants to pretend like he does. So he goes, an hour before he's showing up, he goes, Mark, I need you to like scan the book or read the cliff notes or something and come up with like a bunch of bullet points that I can ask him. I'm like, on it, you know, but I do shit like that where, you know, I'm college educated, I can do that. It's not a big deal. But like, are you fucking stupid? Read the book, dumbass. Like, or just admit you don't. You know, say you read one chapter, whatever. He doesn't care. He's there to promote it, not to fucking quiz you. But like, he's pretending to Tim Kennedy that he read this book, you know, in a fucking.
But he doesn't put. That's the annoying part, at least for we've been doing podcasting forever, is like he doesn't, like you were saying earlier with comedy, with nothing he does, he doesn't put the work in. Like, do you imagine thinking like you're just going to start a podcast and immediately not have to read a book and have a producer? No, fuck that, man. Read the book. Like, it's just you know what I mean. Like, why would you? Why it
almost makes you wonder how good of a fighter he would have been.
Yeah, I know. If he would, who knows?
He probably didn't apply himself to that much either.
I would because I've been there in the gym with him, and I can give, I think, a pretty honest assessment of my own athleticism and credentials, like which, you know, people are always like, you're afraid to show up. Like, I'm not though, because I went up against guys who were his size. I played, you know, D3 college football on the D line. I wrestled heavyweight in high school, and like I wasn't some fucking state champ, but like, you know, won my league, player of the year for my football league, like small time accomplishments, but like I'm used to going up against big guys. I'm not physically scared of Brendan Schaub. What's going to do? Knock me out? I don't like, you know, I've been in fights before. Schaub right now, the alcoholic guy who, you know, is just, he's not in his prime or anything. So it's like, you know, you want to give me $100,000 to step in the ring? I don't give a fuck, man. I'll take that paycheck. He can choke me out. I don't care. But there was a reason that he's always like, he like tried to choke out Callan. He tried to like single leg Chappelle, never touched me, you know, and he doesn't like challenges like that. And I saw in the weight room, Chappelle Lacey, for example, because we became friends via working out. I gave him a ride somewhere one time for a mutual friend. He's like, hey, my friend Chappelle needs a ride to a show. And we hit it off immediately. And he's like, hey, man, you're in shape. Like, could you help me work out? And so we started working out together. And I was like, this guy's so coachable. You come in and I'm just like, we're doing this. Don't hear a peep out of him, maximum effort. I'm like, that is a kind of championship mentality of athletics, right? He could have probably played D1 football if he wanted. He's you know, like Jack Black dude, like, you know, within a few weeks of working out, he's like repping 315. I'm like, that took me several years.
Well, there's some people that are just genetic freaks, man. They're just genetic freaks. Yeah.
Yeah. He could do a backflip at fucking 2 set. You know, it's
That's
like he's
crazy.
He's explosive. So, but he's also, he knows about hard work and perfection. So you can laugh about the cheerleading thing, but I'm like, it requires precision and you have to be perfect and you got to get your shit together. While watching Brendan work out, I was like, because I've known a few guys who went to the NFL and seen how they work out, and I'm like, they are animals in the weight room. It's like they're fucking chained. They're like, let me at the fucking weight room, let me at everything. They're gonna work themselves to death. They're gonna fucking kill like they are psychopaths. You know what I mean? Like in some sense of just like their brains are a little bit different, where it's like they are not going to lose. You know, they'll lose a fucking limb out there before they lose a play. You know what I mean? And you have to have the mentality to make it to the NFL. You have to be like, this is my obsession. I'm willing to do whatever it takes. I will never quit. And he doesn't have that.
Well, no, Brendan's brain is built differently, but that's because of repeated head trauma. So like that's a different thing. You know, but no, you could tell he's
a quitter.
Yeah, he phones
I saw him quit in
everything
the weight room
in.
a million times.
Yeah.
You know?
No, he's one of those that fucking shows up and you go, how many more sets of Instagram do you have? Like, you know, it's that I've seen. Yeah,
no,
I know.
it really was.
Yeah, I'm sure he was on the phone. I know Brendan's a guy that's because he's. I guarantee you. First off, you could tell me, but he's probably obsessed, or was at least, with his social media, and he was probably always on it, and always looking at his Twitter, and always looking at his shit. So he's probably while he's sitting on the machine, he's like, oh, let me,
Always. I remember him. We showed up at Zoo Culture. Remember when Dana White said this like the slightest thing, like he was like, I heard fucking Pat Miletich saying something about some conspiracy to fucking get Kamzat to miss weight. And so Kevin Hahn, Nate Diaz, like, it was like in 2022. So I don't know if you remember this. But Brendan had said that, right? Not Pat Miletich. But he starts going off on Pat Miletich. He's like, that's fucking true, man. Pat Miletich needs to go to the fucking UFC Performance Center and get his brain checked because I'm worried about him. And then someone said, oh, I actually think that was Brendan Schaub. And he goes, makes sense. And then
I remember that. We played that. Yep. It was like, yep.
Brendan,
That's right.
the next morning, I remember in Zoo Culture, it was like you could see his heart beating out of his chest as he typed this like long ass fucking Instagram caption, trying to roast him in a way where like somebody, people were saying like, oh, you had BGO write that for you. I'm like, that's not how I roast people. I don't go after. I'm not talking about their shoes and jeans and shit like that.
That is like he really fucking goddamn it. He's such a fucking like wannabe.
And he's projecting too. He's like, you're trying to look cool and young with like your fucking jeans and your sneakers. I'm like, Brendan, you're describing yourself. What are you talking about?
Yeah. And also, he's Dana fucking White, dude. Like, the guy could buy and own you 1 billion times.
Yeah. The power move is like, okay, Dana, sounds good.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, sure, Dana. Like, there was just, to me, you by looking that triggered and then doing a bit about it all week and keep milking it and acting as if like, Dana White is just crazy hard on for me. It's like he wasn't even talking about you until someone said that was Brendan Schaub. He's like, yeah, makes sense. He's also a retard.
Yeah.
So, but he gets so that was one example where I go, hey man, we're trying to work out. Could you spend not half an hour composing this fucking Instagram caption? You know, like we have to work out. And he would just between Chappelle and I, we'd come in. I had a tight schedule at the time. So like on my lunch break, I'd go work out with him. We'd hit a 25-minute workout and be dead, right? And no nonsense. We wouldn't even talk. With Brendan, it's always bullshit. He's late, gossiping. He's on his phone. He's over here. I'll get a call from my agent. It's like, it's been 90 minutes. We do 3 cents a bet.
Yeah, but Baba got some baddies in his DMs, dude. Like, what do you want him to do? He's got some baddies in his DM, and he's got to be answering.
True.
Yeah.
True. Yeah, he's still like, Zoo Culture with the great grounds for him, as he's trying to like, bang Bradley Martin's girlfriend and become frenemies with him.
Why would you fucking oh my god, Yeah,
and he talked about it on. He like talked about it on King of the Sting. I remember he's like, because this is a woman who works out there, a young lady who is very beautiful, very sweet. Like, like she could get any guy she wants, right? And I befriended her, knowing like I'm like, hey, this is not my place to hit on you, but I besides being beautiful, you seem really nice. And I was waiting for Shab one time, and she's like, oh, I'm about to work out. Like, you want to do this workout I'm about to do? And she'd actually put together a pretty solid like circuit. So I was like, oh, you work out, like, your physique is a result of you actually kicking ass in the weight room. And then he shows up and sees us talking like after we did the whole workout, and it makes like a lame attempt to hit on her, like, you have long hair, because her hair is down her back, and he talked about it on King and the Sting, like he's awkwardly making fun of himself. And I think he designed it because he like later had me like DM her the clip or something like that, where, like from his account, like, oh, I was talking about you on King of the Sting. I'm like, you said it out loud you're a married man with kids talking about hitting on 20-somethings at Zoo Culture on a podcast. Like, are you that fucking dumb?
Yes.
And this guy, she's dating, the guy that you're like supposed to be new buddies with, and so that creates this, funny little underlying friction of, them being frenemies.
Yeah, but what's Baba's type? What's Baba's type? What would you say? I have to know. I'm really curious. I've always wondered. What's this type? Do they have a penis? What's it like?
Funny you should mention that, actually, because I do think, like, I've seen him bang a variety of girls, short, thick, shorter, athletic, but really nothing too discernible besides, are you throwing yourself at Brendan? Like, are you initiating some sort of contact that justifies him replying with the worst game of all time? But there was, after I left, one of the producers who used to work on my show, but recently with this affidavit or this court trial, I saw like, that he had written this affidavit. Like, he didn't write it, but he affixed his name to it. I'm like, you know better. You know that everything in this is a lie, and we weren't on bad terms when we left each other. So this little secret that you have is not, going to stay safe anymore since you decided to defame me and lie under oath on court, whether or not you created this document, and should have reviewed it and said, this is complete bullshit. So again, you've made an enemy for life now, unless you want to retract that right fucking now, 3, 2, 1. But he made me privy to a situation where I guess Shab was in Vegas and DMing with somebody who looked every bit a woman to his discerning eyes. And then, when it comes time to meet up, something tipped him off that this woman had a penis. Maybe it was a penis pic, maybe it was a whatever. And all of a sudden he starts panicking and like erasing his messages or saying like maybe he just didn't respond to her. But like once she gets the indication that she's not going to, that he's not going to go through with it and is very anxious about this getting out, she attempts to blackmail him, right? Like, it's like, hey man, you better give me some money or I'm going to go public with this, And hey, if that's like the only response to that case, like, go ahead, I don't give a fuck, right?
Yeah.
It's like, you got to be like, I'm trumping you by like, go ahead, man. Let me go live right now. I love trannies, guys. Did I tell you that? I love trannies. Therefore, you take away that power, right? And before this week, have you seen that Reddit post that was like, not even on the TFAT case subreddit, but it was like on like confessions or something. And like this gay guy talked about like meeting up with a guy from a dating app and like getting fucked by a guy. And he's describing Brendan. He's like, I just remember his ears were like this. And he kept his beanie on the whole time. And I guess he's a famous podcaster. And like, he kind of thought he was like mentally retarded. I'm like, oh my God. It's not only is it Brendan, but it's in a way where it's so subtle. You couldn't, it's like, I'm sorry, I don't believe that a Redditor would like be so subtle about it and put it in a whole different place. And then the moment somebody says Brendan Schaub in the comments, they take it down, but it's been screened out. I'm like, I believe it. I believe that Brendan was lonely and fucked some dude in a hotel. So that lends credibility to the story. But there was like a crisis meeting, the day after when they got back from this, the trip that he was about to, fuck a tranny on. And who knows whether he knew it was a tranny or not, but it just, at some point it clicked to become apparent that it was going to be a dicey situation for him.
Dicey.
And that, there was going to have to be, and he has been like blackmailed before by like strippers and, he's had situations like this where they threaten to go. I'm like, maybe after you get extorted for hundreds of thousands of dollars, you can be a little bit more discerning you know, in the women you choose to give leverage.
Or
by
I'm
being
just
very
crazy.
down.
Maybe I'm just fucked up here. Maybe. Or like, I don't know, don't cheat. Like, I
Don't
mean,
cheat.
that's also
Right,
an option. I mean,
Crazy concept, right? But he has not. He's so consistently not learned his lesson because it's like he's been caught and caught and caught and caught, and he would do it in the most reckless ways. He would bring girls out to cheat and like fucked on one night and then like ditch them the next for a new girl and not tell like that. Now you made the first girl liability.
So he's
She's
cheating
liable
and
to
he's
go.
married and cheating, but also doing it in a way where he's making enemies. Dude, that's fucking.
Yes, you can't do it, right? So that's why some of these girls that I would meet on the road came back to me because I'd just been nice to them like human beings. I'm like, hey, what's up? Like, I'm not going to treat you like a normal person and like I would with anybody who I met, you know, in real life. And then afterwards, they kind of remember that like, oh, Mark wasn't a dick to me, and therefore I'm going to forward you some stuff that Brendan's been saying about you that amounts to actual defamation. If you're saying, you know, I broke into your house to deliver flowers to your wife, to tell her that, you know, you've been cheating on her for a year, like, which did happen. A woman did do that. And I know who it is and was aware of it at some point, but like, you know, it got back to me. They're like, somebody asked me, did you like jump Schaub's fence? And I'm like, huh? I wasn't even in LA at that time. Like, so I'm like, but this is such a bizarre. And then I looked into it and somebody gave me like the text message exchange where Brendan's like, have you talked to Mark lately? You know, like, did you block him? Like I told you, he tells all these girls to block me, you know? So she goes, no, I haven't heard from him. He's like, man, he's like stalking my family. And like he's like harassing my wife and like went up to her. What she was saying was a little bit like, I couldn't quite tell if she meant, because again, this is being passed off from a retard lying to somebody who isn't being totally clear in recounting it. But my sense was, he said, I like hopped the fence, came up, like delivered these flowers to Joanna, and also was like trying to get her to read my text messages, you know, like screenshots that I had or something.
So
but like,
you broke into the house and we're just like, okay.
Like things that go like, okay, and you have security cameras everywhere around your house. I've seen, like, I walk in and I see like the 8 camera, you know, it's like a bunch of squares on this monitor. I go, you think that wouldn't have been, you know, document? Do you think I would have been called by the police? Because he's like, I had to get the police involved. He's coming up, but that's defamation, you know, because you know that's not true. And you did receive flowers, but it was from a side piece who got mad that, you know, he promises all these women that he's gonna like have kids with them and leave his wife, and then when they find out, oh, we're having a new kid, they're like,
So wait, a side piece sent his wife flowers
from her favorite flower shop with a note. And I think it started with, this is where it's plausible, where I make this next step, where he hired a PI. He didn't go to the police. He hired a PI who also then like, you know, props to Luana for like, you know, getting this out of him. But she wrote a note that said, this is not Mark, which kind of like, you know, like I'm stupid enough to be like, this is not Mark. Like, you know, like, here's a steroid vial, you know, to prove. Would Mark do that? You know, but she said, this is not Mark. This is one of his long-term, you know, mistresses that I've seen on the road since this long. She was only saying facts, and she knew about a number of other women that he was also seeing long-term, and she just said, I thought you should know about this before you have another child with him, just like FYI. It was a form of revenge for her too, but also like, you know, it's like, you should know. You would want to know if you were a woman too, or that this guy is still doing it with multiple people long term and future faking with them and saying he's going to get them pregnant. So he had to, you know, without me as his fixer, you know, he has to fix his own problem. And his solution was to go, I'm calling the police.
He should have hired a hacker, because that worked out well. Yeah. He should have hired another hacker.
Yeah. And then guess he should have just threatened Bobby Lee.
You know who sent the flowers? Bobby Lee.
Yes. Exactly.
Bobby Lee
Playing the long
sent
game.
flowers.
I was so caught off guard, but then that was, I became aware of that. And then like after that, you know, Luana hit me up, like, she was home and somebody was knocking at the door, and she's like, did you like serve me with something? Because again, we were going through our drama, and like, I'm like, no, I didn't serve you. Like, what are you talking about? Like, you know, but she was worried about something, like you know, a stranger's knocking at your door. You're like, who's this old dude knocking at my door, like kind of forcefully? And I'm like, dude, I had to first explain, like, I have no idea what this is. Please just either open the door or maybe he left a note outside or whatever. Just, you know, you see him in the courtyard hanging out now, and then he left. So I think it's safe to go outside. There's a note there, which I have. And it said something, it's a handwritten note on a yellow piece of paper. And it's like, hello, Luana. Like, we are not friends of Mark Harley, because they thought, you know, it's like he falsely assumed that we were still beefing, and then, you know, didn't know that we began talking again. So it's like, ooh, you fucked up. And he goes, give us a call back. We're just interested in, you know, you could tell he was trying to dig up dirt on me because I'd begun speaking the truth about my experiences at Thick Boy. That's all I was doing. It was just like saying, this is what.
Was it a PI? He hired a PI? Was that
Yes,
what it was?
he hired a PI.
Oh,
And so
God.
Brendan calls him, puts his number and his card, and I have a picture of his card, I have a picture of the note, and, you know, I have a statement, you know, a recording and an official statement by Luana describing the whole situation, what happened, to submit to the labor board. She called him back, and he's like, oh, I'm still in the area. I can come back and talk to you. So they end up talking, and he's like, yeah, we're just, you know, I have this and this info on Mark, and do you have anything else? And she's like, are you here because, like, what happened? And she's like, and he goes, well, yeah, I can't really tell you the specifics. And she's like, are you here because Brendan Schaub got flowers sent to his wife, and, you know, he blamed it on Mark? Because I know the whole story, dude. Like, you know, I know the girl who sent the flowers. So let's just not stop pretending that you're not working for Brendan Schaub. And he goes, yeah. I thought he was a fucking idiot to begin with. I guess you're right. But like, that was, he could concede, because he's like, this fucking idiot, like, has been wasting my time. You know, like, you'd be pissed too.
Even the PI's like, yeah, look, I told him this was fucking dumb. What do you want me to do?
Yeah,
He's paying me. Like,
Yeah,
what do you want?
No,
dude?
but he was like, props to him, because he, like, what was his other choice? To gaslight? Like, no, I'm not working for Brendan Schaub. What are you talking about? Like, Mark Harley's just being investigated by someone else who has a weird vendetta and is willing to pay $10,000 for me to dig up dirt on him. You know, like, it's an expensive endeavor, right?
Hey, Mark. Dude, we did more than an hour. Thank you so much.
Yeah, of course.
No, don't even worry about it. Look, we got to have you on again, obviously. You were fucking great.
This was great. Anything
I brought up here, like, if I bring up, like, the business card or the thing, like, I'll send it after.
Just send it if you need it. No, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. Look, listen, if we need it, you have it. So let's just do it that way. Like, I think he knows you have it, so I don't think he's going to be too worried about it.
But I'm just saying, because I've been gaslit so much about, like, you know, active proof. I'm like, no, I worked for you for more than 6 hours a week. What are you talking about in court? Like, why, you know, like, so I'm like ultra defensive and hyper vigilant about, like,
hey, man,
I exist, you know.
You gotta come on. You gotta come on again this was fun, man. The chat room fucking loved you. So thank you so much for coming on.
Thanks for inviting me, guys. I'd come on anytime. You know, as a little heads up.
Anything you want to plug?
Yeah, anything you want to let us know about?
Oh, no, I just, you know, again, I'll do the same thing where, you know, all my handles are at Mark Harley on YouTube, you know, Instagram and TikTok. I mainly use Instagram. So if you wanted to reach out to me, like, randomly, and, you know, I was just talking to some guy last night, like, people reach out to me like, bro, you know, my following is just big enough where, you know, I could afford to fucking be like, oh, yeah, I can talk to you for half an hour.
And by the way, shout out to this, you know, the reason that we even got connected was our friend, all of us, was our friends of all of us, our friend Amanda. So thank you. Shout out to Amanda.
That's
awesome.
She mentioned it before, and I was like, I didn't know. I'm like, are you suggesting that I should go on the show, or did they?
No, I said it directly. Like, I said, message him. We'd love to have him on. So she's a cool person. So I know you were great, man.
She's great, and I was so great that it was great that she facilitated that, because the only question before was like the ambiguity of, like, wait, are you a fan who's like, you should invite yourself on the podcast? I'm like, I don't.
No, dude, we're really glad you came on, dude. And BGL stands for BGL stands for a big great line. And as far as I'm concerned,
the
big great line. And you got to lean into it, right?
Yeah,
it's like, that's in my bio
this is great, man, for real. Like,
and I'll continue to cheer every time I see you in a commercial from a major
every fucking time, every fucking time.
And again, that's just, you know, to go back to that. That's the dream for me, was just like, you know, you make $1 in entertainment. I think most people don't realize how fucking difficult that is. Like, dude, I'll fucking do construction or work on an oil rig tomorrow. I don't care. Like, you know, I've making money in entertainment. I'm like, man, I did more than I thought I would when I started out. So, I hope people have that mentality.
Hey, Merch knows. Merch is on One Tree Hill, so both of you guys are both,
I was on One Tree Hill.
He was. He really
No, but
was.
it's fucking hard to get any foothold in anything. Like, people don't realize there's millions of people fucking elbowing you out. You're like, everybody, I show up to a fucking gig. It's like, oh, there's 30 other macho men, waiting to take my spot. Okay. How am I
Guess I'm going to have to kill him.
You're like,
yeah, exactly.
I guess I got to beat up Dan Soder because I don't want him to lock that in.
He's not buff. Otherwise,
because he does a great Macho Man too. It's fucking amazing.
Perfect Macho Man. Yeah.
But dude, thank you so much for being on. If you come to Orlando, let me know. We'll do a workout for real.
I'd love to.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah. Thanks for having me on, guys.
Yeah, dude. Thank you so much for being on. Take it easy, brother.
All right.
See it. There he goes. There he goes. Dude, that was fucking great. He was amazing. Guys, if you were watching on YouTube, what happened was we didn't get a strike, by the way, but the YouTube video was removed because they said we were showing a video of transporting a gun illegally, even though it was a news story. I appealed it.
No, but if they're not going to put it back up.
I don't care. That's fine. As long as we didn't get a strike. We didn't get a strike. So if the Petsy's going to be cutting up the interview, it'll be up tomorrow morning. And we'll get some shorts to tease it, so that'll be fun. Actually, you know what? Since we didn't get a strike, that's going to make the clipped interview be even better, though, on YouTube. So that'll be nice, actually. Dude, Mark was fucking awesome. Great. The stories were amazing. Just give us a little love, Too Lazy, when you clip this. Mersh, you going to be doing some of that Nightwave tonight?
Yeah, Nightwave, 10 o'clock tonight. Be there.
Pessy, I believe that you will be streaming next, no?
I guess. Yeah, I'm next, Papa.
Virgie?
Yeah,
okay.
He died.
Okay.
Virgie fell asleep.
That sounds good. That sounds good.
There
Yeah,
he is.
that was good. That was good. All right, guys. We're out of here. Check out
Yeah, I'll
Daywave
be on
tomorrow.
tonight.
There you go. There it is.
Just fucking.
There was a delay.
Virgie, I swear to God, if you do not fucking cover up for me when I hit on a girl at Zoo Culture, I will end you. Do you hear me? Do you fucking hear me, dude?
I don't know why you think you'd have to ask.
Yeah.